What do you make?
Halo
of
guys,
T1
welcome back again. Kita watch party Valorant lagi guys ya. RRQ versus ya salah anjing.
I don't think they played
TikToknya
poorly
ini guys.
in any of their games. They had a lot of close matches.
Oke, welcome ya TikTok, warga TikTok dan warga
I don't
YouTube
think
guys. Kita akan
we're
watch
gonna
party.
overlook them at all. I
Valorant
think
dulu
today
guys.
it's gonna be a
Dalam
tough match.
pertarungan antara Bang Winda melawan
Yeah, we
ini
think so
guys.
too. And I have to ask about your icebox just the other day. What are your thoughts on that and your team's performance? You obviously won, but what do you make of it as a coach?
Well, the elephant in the room was the zero, right? Zero and the win.
Yep.
For me, I don't mind. As long as he does his job as the IGL and we win, I don't care. The scoreboard, well, doesn't do anything.
So then I think the follow-up question has to be, were you very satisfied with the calls that you were hearing, or is it simply that, oh, we won, so it's fine?
I think the calling was good throughout both maps. We kind of avoided a lot of their traps. We knew that's the kind of style that they like to play.
Batu Bata ikut nonton nggak bang? Nggak tahu guys, ini sempet nanya sih, tiba-tiba ada kayak bang lu katanya.
But yeah, that's the read that we have, and I thought that Talent did a really good job at doing that against Bleed. So we tried to learn some things from how Talent did it, and for them it worked out really well.
What was like the reaction when you saw Flipside? Or you just wanted
Gua bikin delay dikit ya sih biar bisa. Ini gua streamingnya 2K guys. 2K jadi enak bro. Ya. Lebih bagus jadi grafiknya bro.
He took it like a good sport.
Okay.
So of course he wants to put up bigger numbers, but if the team's winning, once again we don't really care about the scoreboard too much.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I do know you have to go on stage to meet the rest of your team. I don't want to take up more of your time. Thank you so
Windows
much
BA
for
Karbit bang.
all the
Guys, dukung Adel atau Bang Winda guys.
Yes. This is Dan.
Dukung Adel atau Bang Winda Wilson guys.
Dan's the name.
Dan the Penguin.
Alright, I'll come back for you, Dan.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you
Thank
down
you.
at the stage. I feel like all the coaches should get one of these. We just tempt them with these super adorable Valorant plushies.
That's how Riot gets it.
Yeah.
And now all the teams will have to buy them for their coaching staff. It's all part of the marketing plan.
Let polling gua. Let polling gua.
He walks doing his coaching thing on the monitor. He just has to be.
Oh, there you go.
Polling gua bangsat banget ya.
Prince dances.
Oh, that's
His
it.
jacket.
Polling gua
Yeah,
bangsat
so what do
banget
you
bro.
guys make of that?
Jahat banget,
Cok,
Cok,
he's
jahat
looking,
banget, guys.
Good in spirits. Trying to stay.
Prediksi siapa yang menang Bang
this.
Gio?
They've been doing well, but this
Aduh, pusing
is
banget gua.
Valorant, things can change.
Fa.
Just like that.
Fa,
So,
champion
what do you guys
kesel
think of
nggak sih
this?
Fa?
I think the biggest thing for me was that
Champion
this
kesel nggak
change
sih,
came from
Pak?
the players
Nabung,
directly,
Pak.
right?
Gas nggak
And I
sih, Pak?
think when you have a team where the players feel comfortable to voice their opinions, the coach feels comfortable enough to trust it, and then you have the time to work it out, that's perfect. So I think that was a big thing for me. It wasn't anyone suggesting it to the players.
Peripherals
They came
kapan
up with
main,
it.
Bang?
They
Minggu
had
depan,
the time
guys.
during Masters
Minggu ini,
Madrid.
maksudnya minggu
They
ini,
decided to
atau
work on it,
weekend.
and then he was satisfied with what he saw. I mean, I think if you're a fan of that team, that's all the proof you need that this is going in the right direction.
Yeah,
Habis
absolutely.
match ini main
And
siapa
again,
bro?
Just looking at how the mood was from
Kalau nggak
Elof,
jatuh
but,
gas deh, gas lah, nabung yuk, aku juga pengen nabung, Pak.
Kind of hiccups along the way. Just
Champion.
like, just shrug it off.
Tapi
We'll
misalnya
have
guys ya,
fun.
gue
We'll
udah nabung
enjoy
nih guys
it.
ya.
We'll kind of,
Gue nabung berbulan-bulan
mull
buat
over during our free time and
tiket dan
just mix
lain-lain.
it. And
Tiba-tiba
it looks
Paperrex
like
nggak
he's
amit-amit
looking
nggak
pretty
masuk,
good.
cowok sedih gue.
Yeah, I'd say that's sort of the.
Gue nangis sih kayak,
we
aku
talk
di
about how
champion tapi.
stylistically different each of the regions are. Even within Pacific itself, it seems a lot of the Southeast Asian teams.
Kamu scam ya
seem
turnamen
to have a
Valorant
very
di musim ini.
different
Belum sabar,
approach,
baru diomongin
at least
doang
in
kocak.
terms of like energy and vibe and how they tackle a loss or just fixing a problem to help make sure they keep going through and making
Apa-apa
it to
nonton
the end.
Sentinel aja bang.
Yeah, and I think
Bahas
that's something
Brando nggak
that
awal
RQ and
party lagi
T1
nggak bro?
actually both struggled within their teams,
Halo,
right? Because
welcome
both of them
back,
have
guys.
mixed
Itu habis
rosters when
recording,
it comes
udah kelar,
to
bro.
these regions and where they were originally playing back in Challengers. And I know both coaching staff kind of talked about it as well, whether it's culturally, whether it's play style, right? And you see it in their play. Like some players really want to get in there and fight, and other players are
Gue
like,
delay
no,
dikit
we
nggak apa-apa
gotta
guys ya,
wait
gue
for the
delay dikit
call,
ya
we
guys
gotta
ya
wait for the
supaya
timing, we
bisa
gotta wait for
2K
utility,
guys.
etc.
Bagus
But
lah gambarnya kalau
now,
gue.
again, I mean, for T1 we saw it a little bit during the offseason. Missing out on it right now, but hopefully it comes back. But for RRQ, it seems like they're more and more in sync. No one's really getting too far ahead, but when they do, it's for good reason. It's because they have full faith that the information they have allows them to make a big play.
Yeah, and speaking of like making these big plays, they were talking about how sometimes communication is an issue, and that was
Gue
something
deg-degan
that
sih.
they actually
Kalau
fixed,
T1 mainnya
you
bagus
know,
dan RRQ
with
kayak
this kind
kemarin
of
mungkin
role
sengit
adjustment,
banget
because
sih
some
guys.
of the players that are
Kalau
gonna
gue
get
sih
that
tapi
first
gue
contact
sekarang boleh
and
nggak
now
gue
do
dukung
those
ya
communications
Adel
a
guys.
lot
Karena
more,
kasihan cowok T1 belum menang bro.
smoothly. So you're seeing that
Kasihan guys,
cohesion
sumpah
really come into
guys.
play right now for
Kasihan bro,
RRQ.
T1 belum menang bro.
Now, Jen came by to inform us the IGL for T1 is now X Curate. Speaking of communication.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know like how much we want to weigh on this because, like, I mean, it also depends on IGLing style, right? Like, is it like that person making all the calls? Are they just kind of the sum of all the ideas? However, I will say Execure always seemed very vocal, whether it's in the team comms or whether they're in their waiting room during the offseason, things like that. So I think he's got the energy and obviously the experience and history to do it. Whether he has the right reads or not, we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things here is if he's the one that's doing the mid-round calls, that's going to be very important because the mid-round plays was the one that was lacking.
Now we are going to welcome the players onto stage, and we are definitely going to talk more about Execure and his IGL.
Ntar diomelin Brando, Bang.
Very
Iya, guys.
seasoned vet in the esports.
Kalau T1 menang 2 kali, ini RRQ sekali, sama ini sekali lumayan lah gitu. Kasihan coy T1, masa kita T1 nggak masuk bro. Let's go, entrance. Baca kok nggak ada banner? Ada tuh banner di bawah kiri nggak lihat? Let's go. Gua agak delay dikit guys ya, soalnya gua di 2K guys. Gua di YouTube terus gua pakai 2K nih. 1440p jadi lebih bagus grafiknya guys. T1 anjay. Gelo. Siapa ini? Siapa udah denger lagunya guys? Undefeated. 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 Ngeri RRQ guys, Gak bareng Brando lagi Bang Cio, nggak tahu Bang Winda lagi sibuk kayaknya. Gelo, jersey kuning.
Welcoming our two teams, RRQ and T1. You can see their team capsules up on the stage.
Ayo Carpe, ayo bangkit Carpe.
Undefeated by XG. It's our Valorant Pacific theme this year. Now we have our two teams lined up, looking all right.
Yeah, well, we've got one team that is in fact undefeated. And the other team
David ngeliatnya galak banget ya.
Yeah. So obviously T1 trying to change their fates here, but just to go off of what we were talking about right before the player walkouts, the IGLing for Execure, I will say one thing I think this could really benefit from is we're seeing a trend across the entire world in VCT, where IGLs who are able to get their own information by digging deep into the map, by going into alerts, by either being a very big part of that entry.
Ini kenapa 80% dukung Bang Winda ya?
On that sentry, on those alerts, he could be the one that brings us all together for T1.
Same could be said for RRQ here. I mean, more going on an initiator role is, again,
soalnya di YouTube bisa 2K guys,
more information as well, and it's kind of relay into the rest of the team, allowing them to just work off so well from what we saw in those previous matches.
Apa ya, delay dikit ya?
Of course, on the R side of RRQ, again, that similar trend is Elmimore giving that information and then flips, oftentimes playing these agents that allows him to be in the front lines, like the Euro or sometimes the Gecko, where he's always in the thick of things. Now it's going to be very contrasting styles at that point, and then, like you mentioned, Asteroid, the teammates, how much information are they relaying? That's going to be a huge one. For RRQ, my eyes continue to be on Xpharaoh, even more so than Elmimore, on how much information does he get on those lurks. And then on the side of T1, now if Carpe's not the one making the decisions, how often is he feeding that information as the initiator over to Execure?
Sabar, salah lagi gua nih. Pak, belakang lu biru-biru siapa bang?
Biru-biru apa? Ready to go, and I do know, Will, you got to talk to the coaches, asking them what they talk about.
Nontonnya di YouTube Valorant Thailand yuk. Suaranya nggak Thailand dong.
They gave me that answer because they were all like, well, the huddle is like the most nonsensical thing. We don't really do anything. And this stage, we're seeing them spend a lot of time in these huddles. So
it looks serious.
I think it's very serious. But one thing a lot of the coaches agreed on is you can actually do some damage during the huddle. So you really want to pick and choose carefully what you say.
Menang auto siangan nggak sih bang?
All right, let's get into the first series of today. Let's go over to Caster
Kan pada playoff, babi.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, it is now time to dive into the action. Once again, I'm Achilles. That's Valdez. And we are getting ready to jump into a very exciting match. T1 struggle streak so far here in Stage 1, despite all of the expectations for the squad. RRQ slowly building up to the expectations, but a major change for T1. Execure is going to be the IGL here today, not Carpe.
definitely could help them out, I think. You know, making a big change if things aren't working out, I am always a big fan of. I think kind of just following and waiting and seeing if it's going to help itself is not necessarily the right approach. So hoping that they do kind of change things up as we take a look at these agents here.
And really, it's not too many changes for the side of RRQ. It's more just about who's going to be playing what. So will be Xfaro sticking with the Killjoy. Loved hearing from Ewok there on the desk and the breakdown.
Voting. Nggak usah voting.
Really
Biar
nice.
Bang Ajo,
This
iya.
is a system and a change that's put in place
Aku dukung
by
T1,
the players,
guys.
led by them going to
Aku dukung T1, guys. Soalnya kemarin gak dukung yang sebelah.
Let's go,
Let's go, guys.
We were scratching our
Nggak
heads
masuk
when we
nanti
first
game
saw
lagi,
it,
guys.
but
Takut,
I
guys,
think
sumpah.
especially after
Mumpung
Takut
gak ada
banget.
Bang Winda, gas. Mumpung gak ada Bang Winda, ini apa sih voting nih 70% ke orang lain tuh? Siapa sih itu? Gak usah voting.
Gila, mumpung nggak ada Bang Winda katanya. Guys, ada yang bilang ini game sepi, guys. Kasih tahu gak sih? Kasih tahu teman-teman. Apa ya? Kasih tahu kayak rame.
Send a pretty fun one.
Dia lu udah seberapa Valorant sih, Del?
Wah, udah
classic. And,
20% ya.
you know, I think all these players been around for
Kalian mau
quite a long
ngerti,
time.
ya.
Guys, RRQ itu udah menang 2 kali, guys. T1 belum, kasih T1 sekali lah, bro. Biar sengit gitu, guys.
And if RRQ can keep up this
Enggak, tapi benar, makanya ini pasti jor-joran ini, guys. Kalau kalah lagi, soalnya amit-amit ya. Tapi kayak kalau kalah lagi tuh udah kecil banget chance-nya.
Susah banget ya.
Susah, makanya ini harus menang, guys.
Maybe it would be this opportunity. I think that RRQ has had some stumbles here and there, especially in their first match. But, you know, I don't know. After the beginning of this week,
Ini Rosi kenapa tadi ya?
regretting the print a little bit. But we'll have to wait and see
Anjir, udah planting aja,
how
Cok.
it does all
Udah
pan
planting.
out.
Oh, lu ditonton di mana, Del? Gue lupa, Del. Gue pakai 2K soalnya. Lu nonton di mana?
What Twitch?
Gue siang. Kita main apa?
Looking to get on top of the site already. Rossi fully
Inggris
flashed.
ya, oke. Gue Inggris. Pacific ya, oke.
Dart Shock's ready to go.
Udah
Sense
kena.
one's trying to clear a little bit on
Oke,
his
emang
ankle.
ya, guys.
On up over the top, so we
Tidak
can spot,
dapat.
but Elmi more quick to
Oh,
clear it.
situ ada
Not
orang di
getting
samping. Saya.
Flip shatter
Ini
here.
retake ya, ada flash. Buta nih, buta 3 harusnya, buta 3.
There's
Aduh,
the paranoia.
Masih
Big
dong.
swing in.
Oh, kena.
That is going to be huge. He
Aduh.
does get the one in distraction.
Aduh.
He picks up a kill for himself. Very
Koko. Klik kanan, keluar.
timing, but it is going to definitely be a RRQ round.
Bukan opening yang baik,
Nice,
teman-teman.
nice,
Cuman
Basically for free.
Bani pas kill nol,
Rossi
tapi menang
couldn't
lagi.
stop them while Flash. I mean, the entry was just too clean, right? So a very good start here for RRQ.
Yeah, very solid setup. I mean, Flip's just dumping.
Oh, RRQ punya Lemon, T1 punya siapa? T1 punya Faker.
Comes up with an immense amount of value. I love
Aduh, nggak bisa
that.
dilawan sih kok kalau Lemon tuh
Oh,
paling
nggak bisa ya?
baik.
So that he can
Itu
avoid
terbaik
Faker
di
juga
dunia,
juara
Del.
dunia, tapi Del.
lands, finds the kill, and then just running guns with the frenzy. We've been seeing
Juara dunia,
players kind of
lihat-lihat.
leaning into these
Lemon
super
tuh terbaik
wide
di dunia,
swings
guys.
when you have a
Ada yang bisa
frenzy
ngalahin,
or
guys.
a stinger in hand.
Nanti
It
diklip
also
gue
allows
ngomong
you
begini
to
kan.
potentially just get kill itself. So Jemkin also roaring start with 3 limbs in that first round.
Kira emang Bang Winda, Bang. Gue tuh kalau sama nggak ada Paperrex main, gue tuh bisa namanya mengikuti air, guys.
Iwan di match ini, guys. Diem.
See a relatively big stack for T1 over towards the B side of the map.
Telat
Not
dulu nih
too
ya. Gue coba telat dulu nih, guys.
Oh, jangan
go
Rosi.
for that
Mereka
retake
kenapa ya?
A, but for now, RRQ taking their time as
Wah,
well.
pinter,
They
Cok.
start off
RRQ
the map
default,
with
Cok.
a very
Cari info dulu
quick,
dia.
entry, and now they're just taking their time with it, seeing if T1's going to do anything.
Gila,
Ya,
B-nya
Risky,
dijagain
maybe they
dong.
get caught
Ya,
out
moga-moga ke base semua sih. Kalau ke A udah
Do something
harusnya
here
udah 2-0 sih.
in
Kosong A-nya.
their spot, as it's only Saya player
Nah,
out
tapi
here
dicari
in
info,
mid,
Cok. A-nya
checking
kosong nih kan. A-nya
for what
kosong
you
kan.
can
Ah,
see,
tuh kan,
but
tuh kan. Tuh,
Ya, A-nya
lihat,
kosong,
lihat.
muter.
Langsung lari kan tuh.
yet.
Tuh, masuk kan.
Very
Itu
quiet
gambling
here.
stuck itu tuh kalau dicari info udah
Down
susah.
to 50 seconds. RQ now going to start inching their way a little bit closer to this A site, but T1, given the weaponry, given that they're not spotting or hearing anything at all, basically
Ikan
just have to
nutupin
stay
player, Bang.
statuesque in their positions. They realize it's going to be a pretty swift strike once it does start, but there you go.
Nah.
Coming through up on top of Jen for Jemkin.
30 seconds left.
Kalau kayak gini tuh namanya retake ya Bang Rio, mau
Iya, retake.
nge-retake gitu ya.
Retake 5
Remaining for the post plant as they now get situated. Side player around the back, gonna have to try to clear out this turret.
Oh,
as
sayangnya
looks like they're not
saya.
gonna set it
Aduh,
up.
saya
Instead,
mati.
Xfaro just gonna swing back in, takes out side player first, then sets up the turret.
He's like, something is fishy. Maybe if I jump out at exactly this time, I'll find a member of T1, and that he did.
Ya nggak apa-apa, kasih aja kasih. Jangan kalau T1 tuh pinter guys, dia tuh nggak mau mati sama musuh, jadi kita mati sama Spek aja.
Yep.
We'll see if Elmimore wants to maybe deny
Jangan
some of
ngasih
that,
duit,
but-
jangan ngasih duit guys. Udah
He doesn't
biarin
really have a
guys.
ghost, so he can
Yeah.
hang around a little bit longer if he wants to try to get
Tapi
some
yang
picks.
rumah nggak
But
beli ya,
and he's
dia
not
mau beli
spotting
Vandal di sini.
anything. He will just opt to go ahead.
Dia
Keep his
pasti ada
life
Vandal
intact.
dua nih.
And overall, a flawless
Wah, mereka
anti-eco here for the side of RRQ as they
Oh.
start
Spek
things
kan
off
tuh.
2-0.
Tenang Del, itu biar nggak mau itu namanya
Very
teori
nicely
biar nggak
done.
ngasih duit ke musuh Del.
High pace in the pistol round gets them a clean entry over onto the B side.
Ini menang nih guys, menang nih guys. Udah, pakai Odin udah karpe, menang ya pakai Odin nih.
Cuman tim apaan?
Not
RRQ lah
wanting to
punya
get
lemon.
kicked off, not
Hai,
wanting to
hai.
have any kind
Astagfirullah,
of
berkebaca
surprise
lagi, gila
shots
lu ya.
coming through from T1. They take their time,
Jangan
manages to get them the round win.
Yeah, RRQ definitely a team that I think
Apa yang
really
itu, Adi?
indexes
Nonton
heavily
dulu, guys.
into
Si
strategy,
Astagfirullah. RRQ itu
round
Master
by round,
Shanghai.
trying to mix things up.
Gue udah kedenger
trying to get
Jamkin
the
kemarin
heads
habis
of
makan ayam
opponents.
geprek guys. Kayaknya
Already
sakit perut
seeing
tengah-tengah nih.
Little taste of that. It is still very
Oh,
early,
yeah.
but
Iya ya.
so
Karena
far
orang Rusia
so good
perutnya
for
nggak kuat
them.
pedes,
Let's
guys.
see if they can pick up a bonus here as they are looking.
Dapat nih banyak tuh kan. Oh ini gue bilang karpe, Odin kelar nih.
With that Odin.
Perkara
He's
makan
going to
ayam
take one
geprek
down
lah.
already.
Mati.
Yep, a little bit of a different.
Bukan, Yes, baru gue
setup
bilang
there
gitu,
on the
Jamkin
angle.
mati kan,
Now
udah
he's gonna be
percaya
playing
sama gue.
straight in front of Lobster in quotations.
Udah pada kabur. Dapat satu nih.
Thrown
Sama
to
dia.
search.
Kelihatan.
Won't quite
Grafnya
spot
sama
anything
gini
there.
mah dia.
Udah muter.
Ini meta paling
Meanwhile,
B biasa guys.
rotating out of that one is RRQ. Kind of
Kayak hanya di push
strong now
cari
at this
info.
point. Nice little push
Okay,
out
nice.
here from Saya player and his buddy.
Saya player, fokus.
Just trying to
Ini
get some
dapat satu nih.
information. Gonna see straight up
Kali.
Kalau saya
potentially.
player
Ayo,
mati
ayo,
sini
ayo.
nyusahin sih.
Around the
Nah, dapat.
corner.
Nice.
Swings in,
Nice
yeah.
dah.
Nice, jangan lupa
Just a
guys.
bulldog, but also not a fast enough
Nice.
reaction. Taken down by the
Nice.
headshot. Is
Enggak baru mati.
thrown there from
Apa nih
Elmore.
aman nih udah pasti dapat nih Ron nih.
Cross
3.
towards short.
Bisa nggak sih?
Double stack in boathouse. One
Mereka
in alley as
double stack
well.
tuh di dalam.
T1
Mati nih Rossi nih.
very much have this site stacked up.
Ah.
Kok mati Rossi sih? Lu bukan mati SS Vero gimana sih Del?
Ini maksudnya kayak kelihatan ya kan Rossi. Oh enggak deh.
Nah,
Twice.
tenang aja
Gue
santai.
lagi pesimis sih. Nonton tuh harus pesimis sumpah.
Catch Elmore around the back.
Siang Gino tuh,
Judge in
siang
hand,
Big
but
Mac.
also the sheriff, but is he ready for this?
Nice,
Now,
sahabat
Cross
guys.
is-
Rossi kan tuh dikatain langsung begitu
He
guys.
got flips and just like
Guys,
that,
kayak
in
gue
a
nggak ngatain T1
full
ya,
Eh,
maaf
coba
ya.
katain Rossi lagi abis ini
Here's
ya.
T1 get themselves on board in
Ini
round
T1,
3.
aduh kenapa mainnya
Well,
begini ya?
it all starts with the
Ah.
pick.
Ada
A
mama aku
be
di
made,
T1
and
kemarin
then
gini gak
after
sih?
that, it's kind of just one by one. You saw RRQ trying to be very
Bang, kenapa nama BRQ guys? Gue hari ini lagi jadi pengkhianat tuh guys
just
ya.
multiple members trying to
Nah,
sneak
dia
into
pengkhianat.
spots.
Lagi
and
menemani
T1
aku kan, Bang
handled
Rio?
it excellently.
Ya, pokoknya siapa yang
Side
nemenin gue
players
jadi
Oh,
Siap.
baik.
Rossi handles this very nicely,
Aduh, ini
sensing
Google
the
dia
pressure,
stop dengan
and then
template
picks
itu
up
ya.
his third right there.
Let's go.
You guys are trash, bro.
Anjay.
Itu Granny.
Well, it's
Keras,
round
keras.
3. Maybe a little bit early, but
TPL.
Rossi feeling it, so you gotta respect the confidence. He has been performing
Gue
well,
gini,
you know,
gue kira
despite
harus siang-siang nutup.
the misfortunes.
Apa
The
lagi gue
loss
live jam
for
segini
T1.
guys? Mid
Still
semua
has been
gila
putting
ini.
up decent figures, so it looks like
Aman
he's
nih, dia santai aja. Defense-nya kuat
off
nih,
to
T1.
a
Yakin gue.
very solid start.
Kita kasih
Yeah.
2 aja guys,
I do
10-2 nih
feel
guys,
like,
10-2 nih.
honestly, in
Oh, ini map ya?
balance,
RRQ ya?
your confidence
Map
level
RRQ ya.
can certainly
Tapi
Nah,
kalau
di sini
defense,
mau
ini map
push
defense
aja,
Del.
let's
even if you're just saying it for yourself,
Defender harus dapat
or
banyak dari
also
kalau
for
nggak
your
bahaya.
teammates, just to get people hyped and
Okay.
say, no, we're better than these guys.
Kan defend duluan nih si
You
ini
know,
kan.
he might not
Iya.
absolutely feel like
Minimal dapat 9 atau 8.
it's good to say it. And
Dapat
get
yang
your team
lain.
in the right mindset as a
Nah, kan itu dia, guys.
Gonna take him out.
Ini jinx banget gue.
Estrella all alone
As
once
always,
again.
CC
not
divisi
gonna win
BNP
that one.
bagian
Just
nice
a
guys.
hair
off.
Gimana? Kan belum ada kan?
With the double swing, he likely would have been traded,
Bukan,
but
bener
there's
kan.
potential for him to be able to find that, but Flip's now going to be taken down. Pushes way up through Cat.
Kalau
It's a
bertiga
falling
Rando lu
spray
gimana bang?
across Xfero once
Gimana ya?
again, just taking quite a bit of damage. Saw him knocked down to I think about 60 in the last round. Now down
Tergantung
to 50.
amplop sih guys.
Carpe will just again double stack in here in the boats alongside
Aman nih
Xfero.
bro. Anjir gila spray bro.
Rain
Aduh,
through.
Aduh weh, weh.
Mark,
Gila,
gonna
ada
displace
harganya,
both
bro.
of them, and that just goes ahead and equalizes
Aduh,
the player
semua heal
count.
guys.
3v3 now as that
3
play
lawan 3
comes
guys,
in.
tapi
Gila,
SS
gila.
Vero agak low ya.
They were just
Saya player
way
dong.
in the back there. They
Nice,
did not
itu
see
dia
the
maksud gua, bro.
size. So
AC nggak sih, AC nggak sih, AC nggak sih?
Diamond just one tapping people down. They're
AC
gonna need
nih,
him
AC
though
nih dia
for
lihat
this
dia.
retake.
Player.
As Jemkin
Iso.
more in a pretty good spot
Oh,
here.
TP yang bagus.
Zuti being across.
Nah, dapat
Rossi
info
now can
satu
be
di
noted.
stair.
Jemkin having a good idea about
Tahu
where
nih.
two of them are.
Oke. Ntar ada
Saya
util kan
noted over in
nih? Util
B-main
ada
as
flash
well.
1, Rossi, ada flash 2. Nih enak sih Del. 2
About
flash
whether or
Del,
not they
aman
can
Del.
actually stave this off. The
Oh,
rush
nice.
in. Jemkin
Nice,
gonna be able to
satu.
shut that one down.
Nah,
But now
itu
the
dia
three
gua
comes in. Elmore
Habis
cleaned
itu-
up. 3 players
banyak ngomong guys, itu gue nice-nya skala cowok. Kita versi tegang hari ini ya. Mana sih? Enggak.
And
kalau T1 lawan Paperrex lagi nemenin Shadow itu fungsi apa bang? Itu beda cerita ya guys ya. itu namanya harus temenin karir guys ya, beda cerita ya.
That's it here. Wasn't even, I mean, it kind of was just Saya by himself, then he gets this one.
Mereka mainnya pelan-pelan sih, tapi kayak
And eventually he's the
Yang
first
mainnya
one to go
gasak
on
kusut
the
cuma
side here, so
Paperrex
he does
doang,
go
bro.
down, but his teammates
Gitu ya.
easily do clean
Tapi
it up.
enak main pelan-pelan gini. Terjamin gitu loh permainannya loh. Daripada main gasak kusut tekan anjir kayak Paperrex.
Agak dong.
But it actually is just a raised platform that he plays on.
Whatever works. And looks like the operator is going to work for him this time. See how many kills he can pick up in this round with this. As T1 certainly getting back in control of this map with the last couple of round wins.
Ribet, apa nih dia tim sayur, mending RRQ ada lemon jauh kagura terus. Ya saya player kenapa?
Mereka mid ya. Oh nge-push mereka Del.
Yeah,
Mereka pakai strats nge-push ini tapi gagal. Itu jangan dilakukan lagi ya adik-adik ya. Tolong ya adik-adik T1 jangan dilakukan lagi terusnya.
Extremely aggressive to go ahead and do that. It almost looked like RRQ were expecting
Anjir
it, right?
di spray balik,
They
cok.
nice it up over the top and immediately the second he spotted he's just dead.
Wah maju 5, gila.
Dapat 2.
Absen dong please.
Let's go, dapat 2 kok.
Kalau dapat 2.
From the new IGL is that is not where you wanted the team be to. Carpe able to get the punish there onto Estrella. And got bombed.
Nice, satu lagi.
Things very well can slip out of their hands. Carpe
Wah, solo.
at 71.
Wah, Hagai.
30 seconds left.
Oke, sofa lawan sofa nih, bro. Ya, aduh, udah nggak dapat info lagi masuk dia.
Masuk dia lu gimana dong?
Dia
pos mana, Ci?
Aduh, nice try.
Finds the headshot and manages to bail RRQ out.
Prediksi 2-1 guys, 2-1 T1.
Logo Honda atas FK.
Then
Logo Honda
just
sih
able
gue
to
pukul
push their way
satu.
on in. This is the start, by the way. They just get a spot onto Saya. They get a pick on Arasi. You're thinking it's all over. It eventually was. Got pretty interesting down to the 1v1, and Elmiar handles this very well.
So I'd have to watch that back again. You know, from the original POV, but I think one of the biggest things that you need, if Saya's going to go on that kind of push, that 0 point from Rossi needs to come out as soon as you hear the initial setup from that drone to go ahead and cancel it. If you're able to do that, Saya can get away with positioning that aggressively.
Jamkin gas bro, jamkin.
He just gets
Gas maksudnya mati aja guys, mati.
Lotus Fury now out from Elmi Moore, just fishing to see if he finds any kind of straight
Masuk,
connection
cok.
here.
Di retake lagi dia anjir.
Into the side, switch now. Going to be
Let's
hit,
go,
spray,
RRQ.
through. One shot there, one
peluru
flips
tuh
in the
lumayan.
leg.
Kita ada kok Kevin guys, sama-sama Indopret.
T1 going to be looking to...
Energi menang secure Master Sanga. Ini orang-orang bocil-bocil Valorant sosok tahu. Kan ada playoff babi.
In here in the retake, you see Rossi trying to look behind
Masuk ke
that
playoff
tree.
belum tentu dapat ke Shanghai,
They
brother.
already managed to find one. Carpe just getting taken out by that
Hey.
wall bang through. Off shot from Saya, not going to be able to get the connection. Now X-Sparrow strikes, looking for 3. He's able to find it.
Gila X-Vero ya.
Rotate around the back, then jump onto the
Gila.
corner, and Saya player cannot line up the shot fast enough.
Guys ya.
A
Aduh.
4K4
Ini
X-Sparrow.
agak bahaya sih Del ya.
Yeah, and keep in mind,
Miskin Del, T1 Del.
heavily
Iko Del, udah
Kenapa
pasti
ya?
25 Del.
well.
Aduh Del.
Another operator for Saya, and they
Kenapa
get
ya
flawless
guys?
on just a clean
Dilepas
entry,
aja
and
soalnya.
look at that.
Iya,
I
bisa
mean,
kena
that's
begitu.
pretty rough for Carpe, and then not
Oh,
checking
dapat
the
flank dari mid,
Sparrow.
flank dari mid Del.
To just
Midnya
get them
dilepas
down,
Del,
and
di
Saya's
flank sama
like,
X-Sparrow
well, I'm
dari
trapped,
mid.
might as well just go for it.
Wes santai dong.
Yeah,
Sini yang jaga Onyx
got a lot
boom,
to say
tapi
about that
RRQ
one,
dapat
and
slot
I
karena
would be
fanbase-nya
hyped up
gede.
for that play myself as well.
Nah itu
Well,
X Onyx boom.
significantly weaker buy, but they do have the blade storm behind this. and we know it's
Bujang
Saya.
udah
Kamu baca
rugi
begitu gila ya lo ya?
10.000.
That
Bang
Itu
Rio,
beneran.
Evos kapan main?
EVOS 2027 kayaknya main Valorant guys.
Lockdown is available should they want to go ahead and invest this.
Itu beneran nggak?
You should run.
This looks like that is going to be the call.
Gue nggak
Ini
tahu
saya
guys.
player dapat
Coba maaf
2
ya,
aja
gua nggak tahu
lumayan
ya.
nih.
So let's see how aggressive he decides to get. He is certainly
Oh boom itu Onyx ya?
Gonna try to give his life for the cause here. Up
Oh.
on the top, does manage to find
Nice,
one
dapat 2,
Carpe.
nice one.
At the same time,
Kayak
finishing
ulti
off
kena.
Elmi more, so the detain comes in. He's the only one
Harusnya saya
caught
player
by
mati
it.
sih.
Ah mati
Covering fire, able to find X-Curate.
Kenapa
Carpe
ya?
now dead, and Saya player.
Gak apa-apa, Iko Del, Iko Del. Dapat 3 juga lumayan
Now
Iko
just
tuh.
Rossi and Izu. 2v2, weapon recovered
2
for
lawan
Izu
2 lagi
though.
dapat senjata lagi, main ini.
all things considered, not too bad for the side of T1.
Dapat,
Might be able to get this pick.
Aduh nice! Menang Del, 350 Del.
Jump on Australia, and the spike is down. Still a lot of time.
Tadi lo
nggak sih?
Vero kenapa tuh?
Anda
Nice!
udah rugi 10.000. Karbit gini Om Wakakaka, tapi yang dihati tetap T-Rex ya.
Gue tuh mendukung keras namanya itu sengit guys. Kesengitan ya. Kalau mau sengit, T1 harus menang bro.
Gue minta Onyx. Gue minta Onyx.
Had the detain, yes, some
Baru
early
soalnya
damage.
RRQ fanbase.
I mean, Zaya saying, you know what, I will sacrifice myself to at least try to get a trade.
Salah
Flips,
baca
opens
sih
things
lu.
Tapi
up
nulis
really
apa?
nicely, but
Di
it's
sini
this
yang berbau-bau agama.
misunderstanding about
Gue ban
where
kata-katanya
Izu
ya.
could be.
Si Ben guys.
Not respecting that potential
Ben.
flank through B main. And then just
Kan
stranding
nanya
the
Nepos
spike.
mana kuat duit Epos buat
Very
bikin
nice
tim.
adjustment there at the end as well from
Guys,
Izu.
kalian tuh tau dari mana
That's
sih
a
Epos tuh
pretty
nggak punya
important
duit?
kill to get to make sure it doesn't
Tahu,
go to
so tahu, guys.
a 1v1 scenario with the spike available in a lot of time. Here's Saya once again, this time trying to get aggressive
Kayak
with
dari
the
dulu
operator.
AWE belum
I
dapat
guess
apa-apa ya guys.
not just this time, but
Belum
just in general Saya
efektif
things.
apanya guys.
And he's going to take out the
Kita udah
turret.
harus mulai.
Clear on the
Saya nih
alarm
gimana
bot.
nih?
It's just the poking and prodding phase.
Ini B-nya, ini mid-nya
Squad's
bahaya
trying to
soalnya
take
ini
away
dilepas
some of
mulu.
this more stagnant utility from the other side.
Iya sih. Teri aja Onyx Boom ganti-gantian
So they
juara
can't be
terus
notified.
Iya, ya cuman gue nggak mau
Saya once
nyinggung
again,
fanbase
Bit
gede
of a
kecil ya
walkabout,
nggak
playing a fairly
enak.
narrow
dia
angle.
mati
Checking
kalau
towards
kanan,
the
kanan.
left, nothing spotted. Dash to the ready. Oh, spots one, but Elmi
Pak
works
saya
to swing in.
kenapa pick kayak begitu?
Kayak kurang sabar
Right
gitu
there
nggak
through
sih?
the corner. Now flash
Timing
denied.
jelek.
Does get nullified. And Champion will be able to go ahead and take him down.
Izu masih nggak Izu? Oh Izu masih ada. Udah mati Izu ya? Izu mati bro.
Of that entry, but
Wah, ada
RRQ
Kokola,
now
ada
with four
Kokola,
members
Kokoya.
will be able to get the plant.
Jauh dia loh.
Overall,
Kalah nih,
team
kalah
one,
nih.
Carpe and Extra left alive are going to have to just call for a save.
Yeah, they're just running the opposite way. Just, you know, we did have maybe a little bit of a fight here, actually, as Xfero thinking about maybe trying to take them out. But, yeah, certainly the fact that Saya is just going to be caught out essentially for free, and then the entry is so quick from the side of RRQ. Didn't really leave T1 with many options.
Susah sih ini.
As we did, I think it was
Ini
Ross
masih saving.
not able to throw a flash out
Iyalah,
either.
harus
Just
saving
gets
aja.
4 lawan 2.
daggered and does get the
Ah,
one
mau
kill.
gila-gila
but
ya,
that
mau
was kinda
dimajuin.
just an easy cleanup for RRQ, leading to a pretty free round here.
Yeah,
Dapetin sih
I
gue.
think Sparrow's still hunting, and he will get taken down.
Oke lah dapat
And
satu
this
lah.
is about the
Satu.
worst case scenario. I was gonna say, I
Nambah-nambahin.
honestly wouldn't mind them just sitting back and allowing
Karena
these two
Odin
players
mulu
to
nggak
stay
bisa
alive,
nembak,
crucially
Abang.
because Extra
Kalian nggak
was
ngerti
just one
teori
charge away from having
Sofa
the
Odin
lockdown.
di
Now
B ya,
he
guys,
has
ya.
that online going into the next round. Would have gotten it.
Sama
you know,
boti-boti
if he had
Valorant ya?
killed, that would have
Iya,
cost him his
boti-boti
weapon, but he
Valorant.
would still
Kalau
be
pakai Odin
that
bukan
very
berarti
good
dia nggak bisa
ultimate.
nembak,
But
babi.
now he
Emang
has
pakai
the
Odin
Vandal and the lockdown
gampang apa
going. This
nembaknya?
one is a timeout, I believe, is getting called.
Ada yang ngomong begitu ya?
And you see how this one
Oh,
goes
ini tinggal
down.
nembak
They
doang,
just
cuma
kinda
pelurunya
line
nggak
up for
kemana-mana.
it, and slight adjustment for Jemkin to finish off that third member.
Oh, TO.
And it is a timeout from the side of
timeout ya.
T1. All things considered, I mean, still
Reset,
kind of
reset,
close
reset, reset.
in terms of 5v3, the round score, but for me, outside of that one kind of mix-up with the
Lemon jauh,
You're
hey,
breaking
hey,
T1,
guys,
I
stop
think
ah.
RRQ is mostly in
Stop
control
ya,
of this
stop
map
ya.
so far.
Jangan blok-blok
Kasih
juga.
juga jadi adil ya.
It's been
Apa?
overall, you know, at times a little bit scrappy. There is
Terus gue
certainly
bang.
some bite behind the bark here from T1 today.
Ayo saya yuk. Dia dengerin coachnya ya.
Starting off on the defender
Oke,
side,
udah
you want to
beres
be able
terus
to rack
ngalah sama
up
dia. Kenapa sih kalian
several
teh?
more rounds.
Ayo yuk.
See how they
Iwan
fare.
yuk.
We get ready to go back into this one, but for now,
Masih panjang ronde.
quick interjection from Coach
Biasa
Autumn.
sih gue kalau nyanyi lagu
Pump the brakes.
sesuatu lagu gitu dia ini ya guys ya kemarin gue nyanyi
Dia
lagu apa ya?
Rando lagi guys.
What would
Oh
you
ya,
say?
RRQ di sini. Biasa kalah guys.
Given his success rate after timeouts and just the overall performances of the team, I would probably take a leaf out of Alex's book and just say, turn your brains off and
Sebenarnya nggak teh botol orang yang
shoot a
sama
little
kah?
bit better.
Yeah,
Bantu tai chat.
I mean, sometimes
Chat,
I don't want
ada
you
yang
to think,
nanya.
I
gila
just
sih.
want you to play.
Chat,
Yeah.
panggil.
I do
banget
think
ada.
that the shots have been fine.
Chat,
I
chat,
think
ada yang
that
naik
they've
chat.
kind of been caught with their pants down a couple too many times.
Lemon saha ya, ada yang nggak tahu lemon guys, kasih tau nggak sih?
Although sometimes the aggressive
Bule
players
itu yang nggak tahu tuh
Banyak
biasanya.
yang
have kind of given them the advantage as well, especially out of that A main we have seen a couple of times. But outside of that, it's been mostly just him getting punished. And he's gonna pick up a
Aduh, saya player
panel
nih
this time around.
gatel
Saya
banget
harus
yang
Still
ngepick
look
mulu
to
ya.
get aggressive, but
Dia harus
RRQ all
sabar
here.
sih.
going
Kayak something
down
dia
the
coy.
Apa sih, Budi?
Bikin deg-degan coy kalau nggak dapet kill nyusahin soalnya.
Again, wanting to go for this peak, but they're inside the smoke now here
Oh
on
ini
Cat.
ini.
Double stacking out side player, able to find one. Now the smoke dissipates. They both strike 2 for 2 overall.
tuker
We're
dua sih.
down to 60.
Tapi sayang banget
Dashboard,
tuh kere
running
Izu.
themselves into the site, and Carpe just not ready for it. Jemkin just dashes in and
Hanya
instantly
kalah
taps
mulu
him.
You
guys.
Evos
could tell
udah
that
aja.
Carpe was like, wait, what?
Yang
How's-
main
what?
siapa?
It just seemed
Turnamen
like the
Valorant
communication
Evos lagi
failing,
bawa.
or they didn't quite spot them getting in onto the site, and now it's going to be up to
Udah tahu si
Saya
Carpe lagi di Korea.
next
Itu
year
beli
to try to
boneka.
retake
Aku
this
dukung
one.
kokonya 4 second guys.
Spots him.
Itu
Jemkin
nitip.
just pivoting back, not allowing him to get the
Apa, guys?
re-peak lineup. Swing in,
Wow, ini dia bro. Nice Koko.
Gila, lagi dikatain tuh saya.
Turnaround here. From a surefire win for T1 to or for RRQ.
Aduh, gue gak tau guys, sumpah pusing banget gue nontonnya.
Pusing dia, jangan pusing dia. Tenang, masih sakit Del. Kalau udah 9 kok, kalau 9-0 baru pusing Del.
Kemarin gue pusing banget sih kok. Gila tuh yang lawan apa?
Gue nonton lagi kemarin tuh anjir.
Pusing banget guys itu guys. Tapi game 1 jantung gue udah mau jatuh gila itu.
Kalau DRX kemarin berat sih emang, DRX lagi rapi banget ya, susah emang Del, susah itu.
Itu parah sih.
Tim top tier banget ya, susah emang.
Oh, Uchiha Kevin akan beraksi nih, kenapa Uchiha Kevin?
Gak tau kenapa sangat berharap T1 menang. Pin komen.
Well, sometimes that's the way it goes. We've all been there.
He's done some side calling. But
tadi nonton yang before match gitu kan guys, si Aussie itu lucu juga orang.
RRQ still money, so still can get the purchase, but not able to get that dash off in time. Jemkin's entry getting disrupted.
Dia tahu nih hanya lemah coy. Aduh.
Hunter's Fury now coming through from Carpe.
Oh, kira itu dari sini coy. Ya nggak dapet
Not
itu.
quite gonna be
Akibat.
Nice. Aduh, saya player nge-weave.
Hunter's Fury probably push them back. They're gonna try to get themselves back over in towards a main and away from this archway. It just reads it to absolute perfection.
Gimana masih bisa lolos bang? Bisa lah kocak. Kan baru 3 match kan. Dia bakal ada 6 match kalau nggak salah.
How he does line that one up. Science does get punished.
5 menang 2 soalnya guys buat dapat klasemen. Biar nggak dikasih ke grup lain.
Carpe's got a set up here towards tree, but it does look like they could be heading towards B at this point in time, as it is only Xcurate, of course, on the kill day over on this site. You're gonna look at a beat to see what they can see. And they're not gonna see anything.
Yang penting fokus masuk ke playoff. Habis playoff tinggal udah guys, tinggal DW Fortuna aja di playoff.
We do have set up here.
Ini dia gue masuk.
Picks up two.
Dulu banget itu dia. Amimor udah nggak ada armor. Nah itu dia bro. 5-5 bro. Ayo 75 yo.
Guys, gue mau apa guys?
75 di Del, 75 Del.
Ayo 55.
75 nanti T1 pistol menang jadi 95.
Ayo nggak berguna, Bambang. Lu kalau di sana lebih nggak guna lagi. Terus udah gace BF.
All 3 players getting caught by that 0 point. Jemkin can't go for the entry. He can't try to create space, and then they just end up losing flips to that very nicely timed play from Rossi.
Orang yang main orang-orangan Valorant ya.
I mean, he's feeling pretty good. I'm sure he's got the most kills on the team
Udil mana Udil?
Bani harus belajar flash dari gua sih guys.
Nice,
Rossi, nice shot. Aduh, saya player jelek banget pingnya, sumpah dah.
Dia kenapa sih?
Yeah, this one, it's far too chaotic here. For Saya player to try to line up any of those shots with the operator. Drone now up over the top, spots one in market. Expert now noted, and now taking down Elmimor. Making the best of that Guardian. Carpe with a reveal of his own is able to find one, swings up the corner, can't quite line up the other. So RQ,
75.
they lose a couple rounds in a row. They say, right, let's just up the pressure. Storm their way into the A site. Is it clean? Absolutely not. Is it entertaining? You're damn right. They get themselves a round win and now up to 6.5.
Jelek banget ya, sumpah dah.
It's clean as long as you get the round win. That's what I always say.
Oh yeah, I mean, we heard it from Ewok himself, you know, in regards to Flips having 0 kills on that last Icebox. He's like, I don't care as long as we're winning. Like his calling is going well. I don't care about individual performance. Scoreboard doesn't matter.
Just win the rounds. Jemkin goes and dies, you know, kind of messing up some of the utility from the other members. Doesn't matter. Just get in, win the rounds, get aggressive. It has been working.
Kita nggak tahu ya defense RRQ itu squad apa bro. Kita lihat dulu.
Surprised they didn't send it again.
Kalau defense B aja kayak tadi mah sama aja bolong-bolong juga.
Maybe trying to find Saya if he
Bisa
were
kuat sih
to
kalau mereka
peek out
milih
of
map
the
ini
main
mah.
once again. This time just peeking
Jaya,
out of
Jaya.
B main. He might be the
Dapat
first person
pistol
to
sih T1
contact
nanti. Dapat pistol
if
lumayan.
RRQ do commit to this push towards B.
They open things up with that null command. Be curious to see if Saya actually tries to stand his ground. He won't have the
Saya jangan maju ya. Saya di situ aja.
Oh boy.
Chill out.
Corner. Do they read this?
Nah.
Oh, the flash. They swing it a little bit too late. Now Rossi here in main, able to put you down on the ground.
Rossi lagi rapi.
With an
Absent Rossi.
Is that a res?
Satu lagi Rossi.
But they need to try to fight their way out of this one. Straya will be able to find the headshot. Shutting down Rossi here for the
Kayak
moment.
ngerti.
Paranoia
Kenapa sih?
across, swings out.
Siang-siang doang marah-marah mulu ya kerjaannya ya.
That is 6-6 here on the half.
Minum es teh manis sih.
As,
Maaf, dia
yeah,
cuma
well, he
apa?
finally used the lockdown after the
Maaf,
half was
maaf,
over,
Dev.
but
Minum
wasn't
sama.
fully necessary.
Might as well, I guess.
Sama-sama dapat
Yeah,
pistol,
very
yo.
close map so far. 6-6
Nah, ini bisa
straight
saya.
back and forth. It feels like T1 kind of getting back on the horse, calling the timeout
Rossi,
at 5-3
Rossi.
deficit. And
Itu ya logo
picking up
Hoda, lu
3 out of
diam.
the last 4 to get it to even.
One heart
Certainly,
ya.
calming things down, not getting as crazy
Kenapa
with
ya
the
orang-orang
peaks
ya?
and just
Kenapa
holding
sih,
some angles and it
Adil?
worked out. RRQ did get
Kenapa
that one
sih?
aggressive round, but
Nonton
outside
aja
of
nggak usah
that,
dibaca, kan dia
feels
doang
like we have a
menghargai.
pretty close.
Ih, lucu banget bawa boneka.
We've got a pretty cute friend with this.
Anak
Kapan
anjing.
di situ disorot di situ Del?
But yeah,
Kapan
pretty
disorot?
close now.
Apa?
Itu disorot
This
situ kapan
one.
disorot nih lagi kayak kamera gini.
And I suppose our
Bareng sama lu lah, Bang, ya.
is not too off the
Nanti
wall.
bareng
Gue
T1 ya.
streamer kecil Del, beda sama influencer.
To be fair, I would consider
Gila
you
guys, Bang Rio lihat guys.
Williams
Dengar gua ngomong
is
begitu.
not
Taiwan.
fully because he believes in T1.
Nanti
It's more
bareng
because
ya.
every time he
Ya,
plays
amin,
RRQ
amin, amin, amin.
versus them,
Itu
he
Mario.
loves them more
Amin
than
amin.
just about
Still
anything.
counts as a
Gas
friend.
ya.
Amin amin.
Amin.
Whatever
Mana nih Pape?
reason.
Gue mau liat Pape.
HP emang udah
Put it
nonton.
on T1.
Pape di situ.
We'll see if you guys
Lama
are
juga di Korea dia guys.
as
Pape.
Rossi.
Udah pulang belum sih guys?
Hell of a performance so far.
Pape suruh
leading in
Pape
kills
pulang
here in
aja guys.
the lobby.
Pape wangi soalnya kadang-kadang kalau ada Pape diwangi timnya.
We switch sides, RQ over to the defense. T1
Parah
though,
banget ya gue ya.
heavy stack, full 5
Oh
members.
pressure gitu ya kalau
over in B
ditonton ya.
lobby.
Gue iya ke pressure coy jadinya.
Might try to give them a taste of their own medicine. You remember round 1, we saw RRQ coming in,
Belum
pressing
pulang tuh.
W, just
Masih
going
sana
right
Pape lagi jemput BA
over
kan.
the top into B.
I mean, they look like they're just gonna paranoia off the rip, probably a dash.
Boleh lah defense-nya guys,
up over the top, maybe
defense-nya.
up the back of this
Aduh.
one.
Ya mereka nggak stuck gamble sih.
Straya's gonna be able to try to
RRQ
get away from this one. Paranoia
default sih.
does
Tapi
connect.
bisa nih
It's
default
gonna
nih.
be held by that 0 point, but Shock Dart locked in. Looking for some
Ngapain?
damage, but Rossi already able to find the
Oh, tapi
opening
nice,
kill
nice,
as Jemkin falls. Now Saya getting Elmi more as well. Straya spotted.
Nice
noted
banget bro.
Here in boat.
Nice banget.
Straight
Udah
into his
rata.
face, still comes away with one.
Nice, itu gue
Pumping
bilang
full
Del.
flash, but ultimately it's just
Let's go.
Shredder by himself.
Aduh.
Yeah.
Santai aja Del.
Gonna be a nice entry here from the set of T1 as he can't quite land those shots. He had so many opportunities.
Itu kenapa, Cok?
So
Ngebug lah.
Kita sih
T1
kata-katain saya terus
right
ya
on the
guys.
board here from the attacker side.
Saya bot ya, saya bot.
That is going to be fantastic.
Kok
Trying
saya
to
diem
get
gitu
some
nggak mati, bro?
for yourself
Lah.
in the second
Dibantuin
half
itu ada
on
temennya datang.
RRQ's map pick. And once again, just we did have
Ih kata Tegar.
you know,
RRQ
one
tim
man
mana
on the
bang?
side
Nggak
to
terkenal.
right
Ih
for
parah
a
banget
decent
Tegar.
time, but
Gila nggak tahu
wasn't
kasih
quite
tahu
enough
guys
as the
Lemon.
entry came
Enggak emang
One
terkenalan T1 guys.
to be.
Lu di mandi.
7 to 6.
Orang
T1
T1 nonton gue
pistol
bingung
round
guys.
count.
Nih why there's a lot of Honda comment.
Decent investment here. Everybody with
Mereka ada sponsor motor ya sih guys?
a pistol in their hands.
Why a lot of Honda comment.
Del lu kan ada sponsornya Mercy juga. Lu nggak pakai Mercy.
Marshall coming through.
Lihat di tauntingnya pakai uang-uangan begitu guys. Gimana bang?
Kan tuh di tengah tuh ada bulat gambar mobil tuh keren banget tuh sumpah kalau ada mobil sih.
Thrown forward does manage to tag him up though.
Tiba-tiba
Iya kan, tiba-tiba ada kontak gini, Adel kamu buat video mau nggak nih untuk S-Class? Anjay.
Not swinging wide enough.
boleh
to get
ya
a
langsung
side
boleh
line. Set the ball
bayarannya
down.
nggak apa nggak usah uang kasih aku mobilnya
Gonna be a pretty tough ask here for the side of
Jelas
RRQ.
Pinjemin tapi pinjemin 3 bulan.
Maybe just
Pinjemin.
straight up through
setahun
the
ya sih
door.
bang
Has execute is here to
Tahun juga
spray
lumayan
it
sih.
down. And even
Aman,
flash
guys,
it down,
aman.
Barracuda up top as well.
Udah aman bro.
saya bot guys kita harus katain saya terus guys
8-6. T1 in control at
kira
the
gue dikasih
moment.
versi endorse
And
kalian bisa
yeah,
enak
it's
sih liat
pretty
gue nyebutin
straight
versi
up stuff. Kind of reminds me of the way that RRQ
Merci,
played it from the
merci.
attacker side at the beginning of the map.
kita tap in versi
Be one
setiap
time
saat ya
really
guys
quick,
kalau lagi
go A
live
a little
iklannya
bit slower,
Merci
and then eventually just execute onto
Tion kita
sides.
beres nanti abangnya ngalah lagi Del sama adanya ya
Never
udah
quite
aja
far
siapa ini
enough
ketemu
out
gak
to
sih
the bottom.
Nice banget cok, aku dapat
You know,
2.
you have
Aku
weapon
dapat dua.
advantage. You know that you're pretty screwed in that position. You might as well just hold your ground, hold down.
Si Koko udah ke Aji Naim belum sih?
You're rewarded for
bikin
that.
traktir hey
M1.
Else one.
You don't call it left click?
Left click, whatever.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say M1.
Well, you have now.
Yeah.
gue serabel gak sih
If you're
bikin
not opting to spend too much
Mau
once
beli
to have
Mercy
this
buat Cece.
economy relatively in sync here with the rest of the squad, thought maybe we would see Harpe or Izu buy up the share for him, but
Nice banget sumpah. Ini kalau menang sih kayak banget ya sumpah Del.
outside of A, and they
Bonus
just
round Del.
gunned down.
Sumpah nih kalau menang
Easy
menang
coming
T1
up
sih
huge.
feeling gua nih.
Yeah, that's pretty rough, and it's going to be
Ini
a
round
couple
penting, bro.
of upgrades as well for T1.
Udah
So they just
penting ya.
get onto the site for free, and RRQ are just running
save.
away.
Alright.
That is not the round you want to see if you're RRQ. I wouldn't even be surprised if
Saya
we
bot,
see
saya
Wih,
bot, saya
menang
bot,
bro,
saya
menang
bot.
bro, let's go T1 guys.
either now or on the
Saya
next
bot, saya
round,
bot,
because
saya
that
bot.
one was, they got kind of mowed down in A main, and now the round is just over.
I've already written down
Mereka di B ya?
to call the timeout
Nah, mereka saving Del.
because I
Mereka
feel very
saving.
confident that that is exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean they have 2 left. So.
Having the bonus conversion here for T1 on this attacker side, that is a
Gila, mau
dangerous spot to
disamperin
be
kah?
for RRQ. And you can see T1, they're fanning out. They
Bisa mau
want to be
disamperin
able to
kah?
take away these weapons. They haven't suffered too
Samperin,
many
coba.
losses in these opening rounds,
Biar
and
bisa
no one
saving.
is particularly close to building up their ultimates. So if they can get rid of some of these weapons, that would be a major boon. And
Oh,
oh
no.
boy,
Oh,
Zaya
that-
spotting Elmimore. The gun barrel giving things away. Xfero will be able to take him
Oke,
out.
aman.
His own weapon
Aman, bro.
in his hands.
Masuk
but
pembalap.
that is a brutal way to
T1 nggak sih, bro? T1 nggak sih? 1-0, bro.
Oh, ngomong baik-baik ya. Sumpah kalau itu gue bacot banget kalah jir, kalah terus.
Anjir, Izuk mantep juga tuh tembakan begini.
Besok.
Yeah, it almost was like T1
Udah, cuy, Izu.
got in there before RRQ realized.
Izu masih bocil kan,
You know,
Del?
there was the one guy in
Koca,
wine.
ya pada
They
masih
just
bocil sih,
didn't
misalnya
see
kok
them
Kevin gak deh.
walking in, and then
RRQ Koca orang mana kok?
obviously they were a bit
Yeah.
caught off
Afrika,
guard.
Afrika,
and
Afrika
Izu's
Selatan.
just able to spray them down. I think he's the one that
Wow.
confirmed the kills, but
Wow.
he had a couple of his teammates shooting as well, and it was
Katanya,
almost like they just
agak.
got caught
Mana
off
ngomong
guard. And
apa-apa?
so it was a free entry into A
Haha,
with that
mercim
over
apaan
middle
ya?
from RRQ, and then it was just over as we saw.
Sama.
So
Lu ngeri.
easy time to call a
Kalau
timeout.
ini
Yes,
namanya
RRQ.
teori M geter guys, karena udah kaget ya bonus lawannya kalah nih M geter nih. Kayak gini.
RRQ Koca orang mana guys?
Need to be able to clear the heads of the players. Focus back in on this.
Sorry Ci, belum bisa pernah.
Identify where things are going wrong, what the misreads are, what the tendencies
Ya kenapa game gue deskripsinya
are.
deskripsinya
T1
game
is the ones
LOL
they've been
terus ya?
showing thus far
Masih udah ngingetin.
on this attack
Coba
side.
pakai mouse ninjutsu
Like,
suara
masih
deh.
di-
Gua sebenarnya lagi pengen pakai pulsar, cuma belum datang, Cok.
Whatever
Kayak belum
gaps
diurus
you
urus
might
dah.
be having here in the first 3.
Kalau beneran ini berarti bisa 2.
Ewok's intervention is going to
ya.
be good enough for RQ to stop this. Now, effective
Gamingnya
4-round
follow.
win streak across both halves. for
Harusnya
T1.
sih ini kan full buy ya. Kok eskurat
Menang,
dapat
coba
senjata
kita
sih?
posting.
Oh, I
Hehehe.
had to really get rid of
Enggak
this,
sih,
so
kalian
just
kenapa
keep
sih?
using it.
Kayak aman nih, menang nih.
Saving up that money
Siang-siang
for the
galak-galak
latter half
amat
of
sih.
this
Nggak boleh
second
gitu.
half. Let's see
Bonjir
what
pisaunya
this is
colek.
going to look like for the side of RRQ. They have 3 guys in mid.
Terus berarti gue gak main
around
HP.
Bisa
hehehe.
at the moment,
Dapat.
so-
Nice, nice,
Oh,
nice.
the way you want it to go.
Let's go, gila.
Also gets Elmimore. Just through the smoke. And
Saus.
whatever could,
Aduh.
okay,
What?
whatever is discussed might not matter too much anymore.
Nice.
Swings in,
Aman,
the
aman,
paranoia
aman, bro.
hits him. What
Aman,
an effort
aman,
for him,
aman.
though. Be able to find
Kenceng
those
juga
2
bannya
kills.
tiba-tiba.
Real lah.
Aman guys, aman guys.
You know,
Gila
not
itu
gonna get the
dia
ace.
nge-bait
Semangat
pisaunya
banget.
Del, terus di recon Del kelihatan semua tuh tiga-tiganya.
That's almost worse than the round we saw last
Kalian
time.
tadi persulitnya gimana?
I mean, 3 people in mid,
Semangat ya
you get
kalian.
scouted, nobody hits the target,
Walaupun
and
dari luar
everybody
negeri,
Estrella
straight
Iya,
udah
down.
gak nyala-nyala tuh dari kemarin,
As
Cok.
there was no escape for those 3 members.
Dia ke-bait ini, Vin,
Oh,
ke-bait
T1
pisau
kind of
dia.
reading the
Gak akan
situation
nembak
very
recon
well
makanya.
as well. As you'll see,
Oh,
the
lagi
dirt
menang ini
comes
gue
in,
harus diem
Tuh,
sih.
bareng dia, bareng soalnya.
and it double bounces, and they just don't
Coba ya.
clear it in time.
It seems like they just were not prepared for where that one was going to end
Yeah.
up.
Izu lagi panas lagi. Kalau Izu panas sih
You know,
GG sih.
again, solid effort from Flips to be
Kemarin
able to
kan,
look like maybe
Yorunya
that was
panas
going to be
banget tuh.
turnable, but
Kita kayak tadi guys ya, saya bot.
fishy chair impersonation with that Guardian.
Parah
man.
dia, saya buat
I mean, shout out to Carpe, very nice angle, I guess, on the dart, but
Oke.
you got to be ready for those. As now
Ayo,
here comes
ayo.
Oh,
T1.
kelihatan masuk,
Once again,
awas,
slow push
hati-hati.
onto A.
Hati-hati.
Coming down, expecting
Flash nggak
that
sih?
recon
Flash dulu
at
nggak
any
sih?
moment,
Flash
but
dulu
they're
nggak sih,
just
bro?
holding this, and this
Mereka
means
jalan,
that
mereka
because
jalan,
they're
Del.
creeping forward, they have no
Iya,
idea
masuk,
that they're in the
masuk,
sun.
bro.
Look at Estrella.
Nice!
He has no idea whatsoever. Jemkin now overwhelmed.
Nice!
Ends
Masuk
up
aja,
falling
masuk
in
aja.
T1. What a call.
Aduh,
What
jangan
a
di-overpick,
read.
Izu.
Okay, you know what? Let's just
Nice!
no util.
Let's go, kan gue bilang Del.
And now the
Menang round 3 langsung menang sampai ujung kan Del, lu
T1
gak percaya
run
Del?
away with this half. This is domination. And whoever it was.
RRQ-nya defense-nya agak burik guys ya.
It was probably accurate
Defense-nya kagak ada yang nge-pick, Cok. Dia nahan orang itu udah masuk tiba-tiba.
to just not send the recon.
Nahan,
Let's just
nahan,
walk
nahan,
into
nahan,
site.
nahan. Lagi
Bener-bener
mau
masuk
nyemok dia.
Nothing set up
Pakai
here
ini itu.
to play contact for
Jangan
them.
lupa deh, pada
There's
facecam
no
dia.
alarm bot. There's no turret.
Buat HP,
Let's just get
hehehe.
into the site. Don't send
Let's
anything.
go, let's go.
And peek some corners that they're likely hiding
Nah,
behind.
pusing kan nih Coach
About to
Ewok
go for
nih.
another timeout at this point, but,
Dia ngomong
you
ini
know,
guys.
the last
Ayo,
one didn't
oh,
work. The last two rounds
alamak,
looked
kalian
like
tak
that.
bisa nih kalian nih main
Baik,
begini ini.
Namanya?
Apaan?
It's kind of funny too because you
Bani flip jeder.
right? They kind of got screwed by a recon turret in the round right before. So they're like, okay, let's be really ready. Let's be ultra focused to see if a dart comes in. Right? You just walk at them. It's total mind game domination from the side of T1.
Habis timeout RRQ guys ya. Udah panik guys.
I don't know what's gotten into them, but they look pretty incredible in the second half. And RRQ have had zero answers.
Kalau semakin parah tauntingnya guys, comeback itu semakin parah.
Insane.
Sudah si apa dia?
Make the call. Let's just donk walk into A site. Everything will go well.
It was very unexpected, to say the least.
Yeah, and I mean now
tadi defense-nya kurang banget, so. Ini map defense soalnya nggak mungkin defense-nya kalah kayak gitu. Dapat berapa round tuh? 5 round, coy, anjir. T1 tag-nya belum dapat sama sekali. Ini RRQ defense. Mereka force buy, guys ya. Ini kalah udah menang sih DLC RRQ, guys.
Udah nggak ada choice gitu sih, emang harus force buy, guys sih.
Ya, force buy dia. Kalau dia kalah udah pasti menang NT dia. NT RRQ sih.
Be careful for us. Same dart
Ini first
comes
blood-nya
through,
dapat
but nobody
nih.
on the
First
side
blood
of
dapat dia enak
RRQ
banget.
is there.
Ayo bot, ayo pelan-pelan yuk.
Gonna play it a bit more passively this time around.
Untuk gue sih ke B aja sih bang. A-nya ada 3 bang. B enak sih bang tuh. Ini force buy kalah kelar udah cok.
Gila bener-bener.
0 point, not noting anything there. So making
Udah
a
mulai
little
sabar
bit
nih.
of noise. A couple pings will come down into mid.
Ini namanya cutting noise guys.
Kayaknya suka makan Big
Really,
Mac
it's
kayak
Jemkin
mulai.
who is watching this angle. If anyone is going to go through markets, we've seen Saya just try to lurk forward bit by bit, trying to creep forward before. But for now, just
aduh ketahuan. Enggak nih ketahuan anjir.
very quiet.
Kayak di fake nih kayak B-nya. Oh di gas bu B-nya cok.
0 point, scouting one up close.
Di pick sama RRQ.
Okay, standing his ground for the moment. Continues to want to try to fight this one.
Biasanya sih gue
Still will just be backing away.
Stop ya, mesti bahas-bahas main
Lumber, but looks like they're decently aware of that. Execute was considering sending the man over
itu kalau nggak dicek sih gue sedih ya.
Brief
Cek
for
bro,
the
cek bro.
Nice!
Nice! Menang Del. Let's go Del.
As 4 players
Aman
disappear.
Del. 1-0 Del.
Snapping them out of existence, and suddenly it is only Estrella left. Zaya.
Oh dia kenapa? Lemon, stop bahas-bahas Lemon.
Ayo themselves up to map point.
Aman ya, 1-0 deh. 1-0 udah pasti. Nggak mungkin coy di comeback coy, nggak mungkin. T1 di comeback gue push up 300 kali guys.
Anjir, ngeri banget. Counting lu jangan dong, guys. Sabar, belum.
The ult came forward from Rossi, and they were just not able to stop it. One flash through, and this is where it all
Untung
went
mereka ngecek,
wrong.
biasa mereka kebiasaannya.
Spotting
Saya
one by
guys,
one
saya
the
biasa suka
members.
ngecek.
Really nice flash.
Saya bot.
Nice.
T1. Oh my. Kind of saying the same thing that I was. There's not really much else to say about it. It's just domination at this point.
Yeah, they are absolutely feeling it here. Not
Dukung
dropping
siapa sih bang? Gue dukung
in this
ini
half.
cok. Paperrex ya bukan. Dukung T1
Get
cok.
the streak all the way
Awas,
across
depan
up to
saya,
13 and move
yo.
on to their own map pick of Lotus.
Dulu hancurin bareng bot cabut.
KJ.
Has been
Udah mau Winda aja.
very consistent for them.
Kaos Rico. Gila lu ya. Rico depan Winda.
Some shots exchanged there.
Ini
Chimkin
Bang Rio guys. Bang Rio kan
one
juga.
on the shoulder.
Gue Rico nih bro.
Trying to
Tadi
maintain
gue di
control
WhatsApp
a bit,
guys,
but
yuk gue nggak
having
watch
a lot of
party, yuk
fun
gue
here
mau
playing
grinding dulu.
off
Gak
of
apa-apa langsung guys dukung T1 bro.
Turret still on cooldown.
Aman tuh pokoknya guys.
Roll command.
Winda nggak nonton guys. Aman.
Bisa dia nggak watch party guys. RRQ.
The push now.
Dia cuma sekali Del. Itu pun kalau lagi diminta. Udah kan menang guys.
Let's go.
Nggak Bang Winda kan dia kan nggak main Valo cok.
Sampai Wilson nggak sih Del? Aduh gue takut sumpah.
Jangan cek jangan. Itu lu menyerang fans Division banyak juga itu. Hati-hati. Jangan.
Taunting itu bukan budaya aku deh.
Jangan kau taunting guys. Apa sih guys?
Tapi habis taunting aku pasti ngerasa bersalah. Weak gitu, siapa tuh weak?
T1 bro 1-0 bro, nggak mungkin kalah bro. Nah itu dia maksud gua kan, Koko liat tuh. 1-0, nice one, mapiknya. 2-0 nggak sih Del, 2-0 nggak sih Del. Lotus kenceng nih Koko nih. Coba gua cek ya Lotusnya RRQ kayak gini ya.
T1
Gila,
looking like a
aku seneng
different
banget.
team today. This is kind of what we
Santai.
expected from the
Tetap
beginning of
santai.
the split.
Kita
It
ke
looks
sebelah
like
dulu.
finally in
Tas,
the
tas,
second
tas, tas,
half
jangan
of
dong,
this
jangan.
map, we're able to show up in a big way.
Tapi berani banget nih orang.
RRQ can't quite say the
Fans
same.
itu
Jangan,
banyak
guys,
loh,
jangan,
hati-hati lo ya.
takut gua.
On
Baru
Lotus,
satu round, guys.
trying to take T1's map.
Soalnya di
Kita
grup
nonton aja, kita nonton.
grup
Oh,
S1
dia lagi
yang
di
baru
belakang.
menang tuh tim Secret doang sama Genji bro.
Let's
Masih
go
bisa
over
masuk
to
guys,
the
menang 2 kali
analysts,
jadi
break that
masuk.
one down.
Kita
Thank you
Kita-
so
kita
much,
ahem gitu nggak sih,
gentlemen.
guys? Kita
If there were
ahem nggak sih?
any T1 doubters for a second, T1 is here to prove you wrong. They take
Tag dulu ya,
RRQ's
RRQ, guys.
map pick Ascent away from them
Kamu ahamin
after
nggak
a string of
G-Live?
losses previously.
I mean, you say, were there any? But I'm like
Kenapa nih, anjing,
surrounded by
kontrol.
T1 doubters out
Kenapa?
here, right on here on the desk.
Kenapa
over
sih?
the
Ini mau
desk,
begini.
like,
Okay.
it's crazy. How could you lose?
Kalian ngapain sih, guys?
Are you
Gua lagi
serious?
kena
Did
kan?
you see what happened? Why are you laughing at
Wah,
me?
Aku
Keren
pada
banget
mau
sih, guys.
Kevin.
Okay.
But here's the
Aduh,
thing,
oke
is
dong.
that whether you had faith or not, you did
dulu, guys.
not expect them to get
Lotus
all
kuat
the rounds
juga
in the
tuh,
second
RRQ,
half,
Cok.
right? Like 7 in a row in the second half, 8 if you count the last round of the first
Kenapa?
half.
Kenapa
I
Joko
mean,
yang
Valdez
begini
said
live
it.
chat
They
aku
look
teh.
like an absolutely different team today.
Yeah, and
Pantai
maybe we
Epic,
can akin it
13-2
to, oh, it's going to be Xcurate now that's holding all
Kita
the
nulis apa
calls.
nih,
It
guys?
feels like there's a lot more
Hai gitu ya.
proactiveness as an entire team. I mentioned how Saya player
Aja
was
deh, takut
one that
gua.
would
Ngomong,
love to go
ngomong,
for those
kita
aggressive
tahan,
peaks, but
kita
now
tahan,
he's
kita tahan.
he's getting
Kita nonton aja,
refragged
kita nonton.
quite quickly here
Kita
by the
tahan
rest
ya.
of T1,
Kita nggak
which
boleh
is
Jumal.
a
Kita
different
nggak
step from
boleh
what we saw in the
takabur.
previous series.
Yeah,
Hai,
I mean, the
hai,
only
kau
times
77.
that Saya kind of, I guess, got caught, we should
Kita
say,
nggak
is when there was a very deliberate trap set up by RRQ. A lot of the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
times, T1 knew exactly
Keegoan
what they were
ini,
going for.
kita
There was
tahan.
always someone paired with
Tadi
them when
gue
he was
disuruh-
pushing out on the defense. And then on the attack, T1, they moved as a unit around that map. No one was really separated from the pack unless there was a very clear intention to do so. So you have to credit Xcurate a little bit, right? Obviously, we can't ever read into the IGL, but you give a little credit. But on top of it, Rossi, I mean, talk whatever you want on those comms, man, because he was fragging
Ada
out
orang
today.
bikin masan 2,7 T.
I just wanted to add that it did feel that in response, RRQ felt like
Ini sengit nih Del.
I
RRQ
don't
kemarin
know.
habis
It just
bantai-bantai di
seems like
Lotus
they
Del.
couldn't really figure out
Nah.
where the push was
Lagi mau
gonna
kasih
be
lihat.
coming from,
Lagi mau
right? It's always
kasih lihat
we'll
orang-orang.
stack on this angle right here. We peek out. There's like 3 players of T1 prepared for us. We're gonna stack on mid, see how that goes. And there's like a recon dart, a KO blade that clears us up, and then it
Bener
keeps
sih, tapi bener.
happening over
Bener,
and over
jujur
again. The
dari tadi
punishes
gua-
from T1 just felt
Bener
like
tadi gue, ya gue
RRQ was.
Estrella kurang bro, Estrella bro. Lagi nggak nyala
what's
dia.
the word here?
DC
Just
bareng
felt
saya
like
bareng
they were
Adel.
Bener,
drowning
bener.
in the
Tadi
pressure.
gue pegangan
Sure.
sih.
Yeah, and I think part of
Tadi
it was
deg-degan
that
sih,
it
dua
started
tangan
off
sih
really
pegangan.
well on the pistol for RRQ.
Love kenapa ya
And then
dipakai, Bang?
once
Love bisa di
perhaps
week
what
3
RRQ prepared started to get
Di
red
sini
a little
pegangan.
bit, they couldn't adapt fast enough within the
Kok
game. And
sekio
that's
sih,
what
nanti
we're
aku edit
seeing
gak mau
here in
ada.
Pacific is that
Next
the
one.
real
Oh, ada
divider
nih.
between the top teams that are most likely to
Sebenarnya
make
apa
it
sih?
to
Gua nggak
playoffs and
ngerti
maybe
aja.
even Master Shanghai. And then the rest is you can all come with great plans, but when that gets broken down, how do you adapt
Recall
it?
balik nggak?
RRQ seem
Belum,
to
belum.
still be so
Belum,
focused
no.
on what they
Kita
prepped, their
tidak
own game
boleh
plan, that they
jumawa.
couldn't adjust to some of these positions that Rossi was taking, that Xcurate was taking. And then the fact that Saya always had someone to trade for him. The weaknesses that T1 used to have, they weren't there today, so RRQ had to figure out in the game.
100%. I think that sums it up really nicely.
Tiban,
It looks
tiban,
like a
tiban,
completely
tiban,
different
tiban,
T1
tiban, tiban.
playing today.
Ini beli
Jangan,
lawan Zeta
jangan.
nggak seru guys.
2-3 games, they changed up their tempo. They
Yes,
look more
gue inget-inget
confident.
ya.
They definitely adjusted something
satu alasan
over
kalau
the
dari dulu
past
kayak-
couple of days.
Takut join tim tuh deg-degannya tuh sampai ya dulu gue zaman-zaman masih mendukung sebuah tim ya. Lo bisa pulang-pulang sakit perut tau gak sih?
Boleh
saking-
tahu nggak itu tim apa ya?
Oh, boleh tahu nggak? Ada sebuah tim lah.
Oh, ada ya?
Indonesia. Dukungnya tuh udah sampai pakai segala gila. Pakai hati, pakai jantung gitu kan dukungnya. Ya sampai sesak nafas gue. Tas dulu lah dia lemah banget sumpah. Gue kan mana RRQ gak ada RRQ guys, jangan nggak mau dulu gue kayak gitu guys, dulu aku juga begitu menang gitu kan, kalah ke comeback itu guys, kayak push tower gitu.
Bohong lu.
Emang gua apa? Ada Bang Jamu.
Boleh
guys.
live gak?
Ntar dulu gue baru buat bangun dia. Baru buat bangun.
Gue udah 1-0 nih Tiawan gue.
Aman Del. 2-0 sih.
1-0 sama
aman.
siapa?
RRQ RRQ nih lagi rame nih, seru. Timnya Lemon bu.
Katanya Adel mau tas-tas di streamer sebelah.
Ya lo, T1 Ci.
Ayo bang, game lain gak sih? Lotus, map Koko lah ya.
Map, kenapa jadi map Koko? Map T1 dong.
Maksudnya kayak mapnya tim-timnya Koko gitu loh. Maksud
Chambernya nih, S nih chamber S nih.
T1 di sini mulai.
Udah 1 sama ya? Udah 1-0 ya? Siapa sih?
Masih ke bawah hype menang lawan Bleed.
Izin live. Jambu gue izin live ya.
Gak boleh Dil.
Bang Jambu izin live.
Gak boleh. Semuanya gak boleh.
Gila si King YouTube emang.
Iya emang.
Itu
kalau udah punya kekuasaan gini emang gini dah.
Tar dulu bang. Anjing lu bang. Bang. Itu si Yei kok begitu bang kemarin ya?
Siapa?
Kayaknya mendingan lu gak sih?
Iya gak sih? Maksudnya beli mahal-mahal kayaknya kalau begitu kayak mendingan gua lah.
Oh, lu lagi mau masuk pro scene ini
kan? Jambu ini gak sih bang? Bang gua apa jadi Bleed konten kreator?
Tapi bener. Beda banget gak sih Bang Kaco? Yei lagi jago-jagonya ya gak sih bang?
Gak, Yei jago-jagonya emang karena dia terbantu sama tim sih dulu.
Oh iya. Betul itu betul.
Call-nya VNS sama duelistnya dia sama supportnya Crisis beda lah.
Emang lagi ditonton sama siapa guys ini si
Jambu? Lo lihat zaman dia udah keluar dari optik dulu. Dia juga busuk juga. Gua gak tahu kenapa dia diambil. Terus nggak hype lagi dia.
Terus kenapa dia nggak pakai chamber lagi ya? Chamber kan udah di okein lagi kan?
Kalau masalah itu Bang Rio yang gue lihat si Legija tuh emang pengen ngetes kali. Emang nggak bisa waktu itu momennya si Chamber emang busuk kan?
Oh iya sekarang udah ya.
Baru-baru sekarang ini kan Chamber. Kayak dia sempat pakai Viper gitu-gitu dicoba. Emang nggak work sih. Kayak ibarat.
Kasih ya Mbak.
Sebenarnya potensi dia di duelist tapi dia udah ada duelist tuh. Sekarang bener tuh Legijanya si coachnya bener ngasih dia duelist tapi emang nggak kelihatan juga kan. Sebenarnya
janji gue tahu.
Harusnya si Ye problemnya dah.
Kan mana mahal banget lagi harganya.
Iya. Mahal tuh.
Mahal harganya terus ternyata problem.
Makanya.
Beli masalah mahal-mahal aja.
Jujur kalau gue kasihan di egois sih. Bario tahu kan egois?
Iya.
Itu jago banget bang, sumpah. Dia sampai pensiun gara-gara permasalahan dia cabut dari Bleed. Karena jago loh dia, mendingan dari Rion sekalian duelisnya.
Iya dari aja.
Bang Aco.
Terus gini sih.
Apa?
Iya daripada beli mahal-mahal, beli harga mahal buat masalah, mending beli gua anjing.
Kedua ya.
Gratis kalau mau bukin masalah dong mah.
Lebih jago lagi Jambu ya nggak?
Enggak kan, enggak jago.
Mendingan dia beli player siapa yang mana. Terus dia cari konten kreator nggak sih? Buat party ya, Bu?
Nah, iya itu buat party nggak sih?
Bener loh.
Gimana cara dia sama Ria kalah?
Bleed itu tim mana Bleed ya?
Bleed itu
Singapura.
Geng
Oh, Singapura.
Ini katanya ownernya ada Indo-Indonya gitu dah.
Ada.
Bleed. Ini kalau kata gue mah Bleed ya.
DM nggak sih bang Instagramnya Bleed?
Emang kalau gitu dia
gue dulu masuk Paperrex tau gak sih dari iklan IG tau gak gue masuk Paperrex.
Gue dukungnya
demi apa lu?
Lu tau gak sih iklan yang dibayar itu gue daftar di situ iklan apa sih dibayar pos itu.
Lu di approach PRX gimana Bang Rio?
Kagak, gue tau gak sih iklan IG tau gak iklan IG? Paperrex looking for content creator, gue daftar, interview.
Skim chill. Kelar.
Tapi dulu hokinya kan Paperrex belum gede, jadinya ya.
Oh iya bener ya.
Kalau sekarang mungkin udah gak ada.
Tapi tetap aja anjing sebelum gedenya PRX juga ya.
Gue gede.
Iya.
Tapi gue pas masuk Paperrex tuh masih belum juara, masih biasa aja.
Ayo Koko.
Hoki aja, hoki. Rezeki.
Gue belum tahu ya player RRQ.
Lagi kuat nih kemarin lawan Bleed.
Waalaikumsalam.
Jangan Bang Farid, jangan. Tapi gue dukungnya itu juga, dukung turut gue. Kasian dia lagi 0-3 nih. Masa
Bang,
masih
kalah jatuhnya T1 itu lagi under apa gimana Bang?
Under.
Iya, lagi bawah banget dia.
Dia harus menang soalnya nih biar aman ya Bang Aco ya. Harus menang biar menang 2 minimal menang 2 soalnya biar dapat ini.
Biar lumayan lah. Ya kalau kalah lagi nih kemungkinan dia nggak lolos ini playoff.
Seru banget gak ada panasnya tuh lo bikin menarik match.
Soalnya kayak tim
grupnya
dia tuh udah
aman-aman. Kalian aja gue ya nggak ngapa-ngapain, lu pada panas gitu. Udah panas kan lu, Wong? Seru nih. Gue lagi panas.
Jumkin.
Nih ada
Crush
efek.
Good Jemkin God.
Iya,
Alright,
bro.
Jemkin. Let's go
Orang
to our
ngomong gitu kan,
casters,
Bu.
Achilles and Valdez.
Gue bilang kan, aduh gue overthinking guys, masa sih gue mau bad luck ya kan? Pick me
once
banget lu, emang lu
more.
siapa mas?
Lotus, he wants map pick, one that has been-
Gara-gara jambu
It's
guys,
pretty much
itu bikin
all
pikiran-pikiran
reliable
apa
for
gue
them.
mau
You know,
bad
this
luck
has
ya?
been the
Pick me
most
banget
comfortable
lu,
map for them
gituin gue
across
anjir.
the board.
Kagak ngaruh Del.
STLR, nggak ada STLR anjir.
On this
STLR.
map, so
Banyakin
See,
deh,
orang
overthinking sampai pick me.
segede
they have
itu,
plenty
kalem
of
ya?
tape to study for this.
Kalau buka
Knowing
tab
the
ya?
tendencies
Gue
of
pikir
T1,
siapa
can they
gue?
counteract
Siapa gue?
it? It's gonna be the big question.
Lu pakai browser apa Bang Rio?
Chrome. Gede, crop gede, tapi RAM-nya gede dia.
I do wonder.
Dia mau
worry
T1
about
mau
RRQ,
win
right,
streak
coming
mau
into
lose
map.
streak juga lu
Sometimes if
nggak
it's
ngaruh
very
sih.
one-sided, you can kind of just brush
Bukan
it off
cuma
and say, okay,
nonton
let's
ya,
reset.
bukan
But
main.
things were
This is
going
it,
really
Lotus.
well.
Anjir digas
At
bro.
least decently well, half and half for the first half, and then it was like they just kind of fell
Ini
apart.
kayak
So
tipe
it's going to take a
Menko
lot,
kan.
I
sayap-
think,
sayap
mentally to
player
just kind of
ngata
forget
banget
that
sayap
that
player
happened and
kayaknya.
try to pull off the
Posisi
reverse.
Kita jalan
kebanggaan.
saya bot,
Beginning
saya
of
bot.
this map especially, I think is going to be very
Nggak
important
panas
mentally
aja.
for the side of RRQ. They do get to
Kurang
start
foul
here
tertinggi,
on the
champion.
attacker side,
Aduh!
and
Karpenya
Karpe
they're gonna
datang
get them on the board.
datang
Solid
ngeganggu
opener
lo
there.
Karpe lo.
And Sheriff to good use.
Jelas-jelas Kevin di
There
situ dari tadi.
Donasi spotting quite
Dia juga
a
ada
bit.
kayak Kevin padahal ya. Ngapain ya?
Halo Em,
Way
apa
over
kabar?
towards the side, but now he is going to be operating all on his lonesome.
Kok udah capek-capek
With the
nunggu
information
ya?
gained, it's-
Oi.
Gedean
Triple
suaranya
will
guys.
find one Xfero.
Iya, Del.
Nah, coba
Lu
lu nggak
lu
ganggu
kenapa
ya Karpe.
nggak pakai jersey?
Eh
Del?
baru si pick me gitu, tahu nih jambu guys.
Accurate, able to find the kill, but now creeping up into the smoke.
Pokoknya apapun salah jambu.
Nggak, lu kenapa nggak pakai jersey?
Way back
Belum
upstairs.
nyampe, Bu kan
Oh.
dari Korea dikirim.
Gua aja yang udah lama belum punya yang jersey baru, Bu.
Masa iya? Emang nggak
Kirimnya
langsung nggak langsung
Lama
dikirim?
kirimnya, lama dari Singapura udah kirim
Belum
terus
orang
kena
bea
teks
cukai.
lagi, capek banget ya Allah.
Belum orang bea cukai.
Lihat.
Tau nggak, Bu?
Apaan?
Gua beli baju Paperrex kan 2.
Enggak.
Ah.
Itu enggak
Harganya tuh kalau
siapa
di
yang nyari?
total itu berapa ya? Satunya itu kalau
Siapa, El?
500.000 atau 1 juta gitu gue lupa.
Heeh.
Cukanya tuh lumayan.
Entry into this one, paranoia.
Cukanya lumayan itu.
Bayarnya ke pos, lewat
Can't
pos.
quite swing the
BA
corner.
apa talent?
Before that,
Oh,
blind just
berapa
fired.
sih?
Aman-aman.
Oh.
Dapat dua.
Kelas
Hampir
bisa di fuse.
Dua.
hampir gope
Bisa di
apa?
fuse.
Hampir gope itu.
Wah, ini harus ngejar nih, buy time aja nih yang lain.
Hampir satu jersey.
Salah.
Coba hitam aja yang lain. Udah menang anjing non satu
Oh,
T1.
Oi.
Gila, bagus
Aduh,
banget
lihat lagi.
jaganya.
Kan dari Singapura langsung dikirimnya.
Lihat.
Si
Nyenggolnya
Soron
RRQ
dapat
nyenggolnya.
menang biasanya guys.
Sorry, kita nggak nyenggol.
Tadi lu kasih Sin. Sin.
Saya minta maaf. Nanti malam main konten warning, iya. Ezo.
Nice banget, Cok.
Gila.
Oh, kalau pakai chamber nyala, Cok. Serem banget dia chambernya.
Itulah pokoknya. Pokoknya bagian dari T1 ya gitu ya.
Ya.
Itulah
Itulah pokoknya. Pokoknya ada logo T1 aja. Absen kah?
Aduh, Izu ngapain Izu?
Cabut Zu, Izu.
Dia nggak pakai guardian tapi ngepick jauh ya, serem juga ya.
Berani ya main Spectre begitu ya.
Sekarang. Izu.
Mati dia nih, mati nih dia.
Gebuk Izu.
Klik kanan, kan tuh. Klik kanan dikit mati dia. Aduh, dapat senjata tuh RRQ 1.
Kok kayak ini bisa dapat Spectre lagi deh.
Penting, sudah
Oh,
penting.
teman-temannya pada bokong. Dapat Spectre tuh
Nice,
temennya.
dapat 2.
Cek samping saya. Ini saya mati
Oh,
di
dia
sana.
sadar ya, dia sadar ya.
Saya biasa mati di situ tuh.
Ya itu udah masih sadar sih. David di situ. Kan temannya mati, terus ada turret tiba-tiba.
Kalau dia tiba-tiba nggak sadar, saya parah sih. Orang kan saya nggak tim player sebelah nih. Sorry.
Enggak, Nafski di sebelah.
Adel kan lagi nyari lawan yang keras guys.
Lihat. Makanya tadi Budi lo merek apa sama beli di mana? Ini slow move X drip experiment. Dulu beli di slow move. Udah lama sih tapi.
Aduh. Nice.
Ya gue berarti netizen banget ya. Mantra kita guys, jangan lupa saya buat.
OP so langsung cowok gelo. Pokok OP nih guys. Aduh, ini ada wall viper coba bete banget OP ini.
Sometimes that's the mentality you need. Don't overthink it. And so
Gua
far,
dapat satu ya, cukup
10
bro.
rounds in a row.
Retake dah.
Satu lah, ayo AWP yuk.
Including last
Smoke-nya
map.
banyak
Expired nama aslinya siapa bang?
Here pretty
Aduh, gue lupa
quickly,
lagi.
Kevin.
Xpired already has
Kevin
an
ya?
operator.
Kevin Sutanto.
Yeah, I don't think
Sutanto.
this is going to come as a surprise to anybody at all. He will buy in for
Sutanto.
this no matter what. As Haunt will get the mark there onto Xpharaoh. He's able to back away
Sih.
towards
Aduh,
A-main. Smoke
retake
down,
lagi,
but
bro.
turn down,
OP
trying to
retake
kill
susah
some of
nih.
that pressure off. Alarm bot
Sudah planting
laughing as
teman-teman.
well as Rossi.
Lah,
Gonna be waiting for the rest of the team to start arriving. Not wanting to
Gitu
reveal his
matinya.
position. Swing out, and Elmimore actually does take him down. Top row.
Kok nggak dapet timing nih?
Skrid still
Susah
hunting.
nih, OP nih,
Izu
retake.
be noted behind, only has a
Ya
shot.
elah.
Saya player had to
Saya.
looking at the minimap. Completely
Kayaknya gua
distracted, not
kecepetan dah.
reacting fast
Lu nonton di
enough.
mana mu?
Take him
Cepet
down.
banget anjing
di
iya.
aslinya gue.
Weapons they
Di aslinya di mana?
possibly
VCT
can.
Pacific kan?
In a bad spot with just
VCT
the
Indonesia,
sheriff.
Valorant Esports
Oh Indonesia lebih cepat
Like,
sekarang,
gonna have
tapi
to
lebih
push
burik
in,
dia.
take somebody down.
Gue
iya.
Twitch, gue di Twitch.
Yeah, he's
Twitch
the
ini
one
VCT
guy. The
Pacific
other
dari
two,
Inggris.
Iya makanya gue kaget tadi dia bilang Rossi
now
mati
let's see if
begitu.
he gets the
Gue Rossi
jump
masih.
onto Xpharaoh or
Spoiler
Flipshire.
guys, jambu.
And they seem to have a good
Udah,
idea
gua
that he is
ganti.
here as well. And
Safe ya.
Swing and a death here in a brief
Mati
little
guys. Dia nggak mati dong bro.
Yeah,
Nah,
needs
itu
to
dia.
face out.
Ding ding
Needs to
ding
get that
ding
death
ding
bonus
ding.
eventually
Parah
will,
jambu
but it's gonna be a
spoiler.
flawless
Iya.
for RRQ.
Stream diomelin anjir.
No delay ya, Del?
Solid anti-bonus round for them. Still gonna be half shields
Delay
across the
tapi
board, so
bentar. Gue bikin
gonna be
bentar
slightly
ya.
vulnerable, but
Nilainya
I think
kayak cuma 2
a nice reply and a little bit of luck as well with Saya player not quite glancing at his crosshair in that
Masih
moment.
masih rame kok ini rame.
Had he been able to get that
aman,
kill,
aman.
things
Oke,
are open
masih
up
di
a lot
tangan,
more
guys.
for a potential retake.
Ada Odin nih, Odin Rossi
pretty
nih.
quick to go up the rope, I guess. We can give him
Pokoknya masih dengan AWP-nya.
benefit of the
Tuh,
doubt.
Koko mau nge-push nih.
Pick up
Oh,
that
Absen
kill
nih.
is now
Bisa nih.
looking to
Kali-
challenge
kali.
outside of Rubble. As
Nice,
Keren
saya player.
is
Nice,
around
buset,
Saya.
gila, flicknya
Saya
anjing.
buat, saya buat, saya buat.
Gila
Knows that
flicknya.
Jeb
Tembak
is
lagi
there
fast saya.
as well.
Anjir.
It will be Carpy to take him
Bisa ya
down.
pro player
That's
flick
3
begitu
for
ya?
0 in favor of T1.
Wah, rata bro. W gaming bro.
Udah
Absolutely
udah
do
lu.
not. They absolutely run them down here in this round, not allowing for RRQ.
Ini RRQ nggak nyala sih guys, aman sih kayaknya nih feeling gue nih.
A monstrous and quite dominant performance there. Side player clearly unhappy with getting picked off by
Iya, guys, saya
Elmimore
buat.
in that
Kalian pada nggak
Udah
Indopret
dia
sih
bingung
guys.
Kenapa gue jadi saya bos?
Ya Tuhan. Kan ada Koko Kevin guys, orang Indo guys nggak boleh dukung Koko Kevin.
Guys. Oh Kevin juga orang Indo. Kalian kan dukung Indo.
Gila,
Nice, guys.
kayaknya saya player bangkunya pendek banget ya.
Bukan, dia pakai meja tambahan anjir lucu banget dah kalau lihat setapan dia.
Iya, makanya. Iya makanya tangan apa keyboardnya kayak tinggi banget aja.
Dia tinggi banget, keyboardnya tuh seleher gitu bu.
Iya.
Ya kalau master waktu itu bawa meja sendiri anjir, bawa meja tambahan gitu biar tinggi.
Emang kebiasaannya gitu ya?
Iya, udah nggak bisa dia pendek gitu. Tuh tinggi banget tuh kan, seleher kan anjir.
Iya lu kalau dia mau main kayak
Begini jual. Ya, tangannya sering cedera sih tuh kayaknya. Pegel nggak sih?
Sakit ya situ?
Sakit makanya kan kalau cobain main begitu bentar, tapi pegel tangannya.
pegel banget loh kayak pundak tuh atas.
Gue kira bangkunya yang pendek. Mejanya ditinggiin ya anjir.
Wih, tenang nge-wave bro. Ya Rossi, kasih tau Rossi. Udah plan ya? Anjing udah plan cok.
Iya, biasanya mereka aman nih.
Duh, kok mati sih?
Timingnya
Nice! Nice!
Gila, sekuret.
Anjing oke banget tuh timingnya bro, lihat kasih timing tai tuh.
Dapat.
Timing for Estrella, so
Timingnya jelek banget sih Estrella.
this allows Xgrid to get way too much value in this round. It's getting pretty hectic there. Saw Xgrid as well, very nicely done. This push out on the side of Elmimore was pretty nice, but after that it was all T1. Xgrid picks up 3 on the round, 2 on the side.
Estrella bukan harinya jir, udah nembak nggak nembak, kena timing mulu dia.
Early timeouts, but at 4-1 and things continuing to slip away from RRQ, I don't blame.
Not a good feeling.
Match-nya Lemon versus Faker mulai terus.
Tuh tinggi banget anjir, tuh sudah ada
Very
anjir.
much getting away from them, but also not quite being prepared for a lot of the aggression that we're seeing from T1 out of this defender side.
Kalian sih.
And one of the things that we were seeing from
Mirip saya nih.
Zeta when they played against Team Secret was just the all-out aggression. It was something that Secret was not ready for.
Aman nih bro, kalau main gini terus guys, aman rapi mainnya T1. Mantap.
Util at hands, not being ready for that pace and that timing that was coming in. And right now, RQ suffering a very similar fate from the attacker side.
Foto dia.
Yeah, they're gonna have to figure something out. Maybe just mess with
Lah Udil
different
siapa?
timings. Maybe they try to get aggressive themselves, and I don't know. They need to change something here because so far
kalian.
it is still 1 round in the
Dan
last
bumi
15.
faker langit dan bumi faker lemon. Lemonnya yang ini kan langit
Still,
kan.
quite a lot.
Iya guys.
Mapnya T-sided atau City-sided bro? Kayaknya sih T-sided ya harusnya.
Not
Gampang
no reason
rotate
for them
soalnya
to
ini, bro.
really change up their strategy,
Main
right?
HP
Just
Sarkas
continue
sekarang.
being aggressive,
Tergantung
getting in
engine
their
tapi.
face, and trying to keep them pressure down. As meanwhile, on the opposite side, trying to push
Izu
into mount. This actually worked on their eco round, do you remember?
ini
They were able to get in onto C. Didn't win
Iwan
the
kalau
round,
menang
but
dapat 1 poin,
what
betul.
they're looking once
Butuh
for
2 kemenangan sih guys, minimal banget ya. Biar nggak diambil spotnya sama grup
Ada
lain.
yang mau ngatain lu.
Izu just sat here within the smoke. Do they suss
Hitam.
this out?
Disuruh cepet live.
Looks like they're certainly
Dapat
cautious of this, but tap onto the spike.
Aduh, Izu 1 aja minimal tuh harusnya
What's his
tuh.
attention?
Gila, kalau bisa bunuh 5-5 gila ya itu.
End up getting taken down as tap onto the
Sayang
door.
enggak sih itu.
POA,
Panik liat
Experiment.
ketiga orang pasti bingung ya pakai mana.
Taken off, being able to get the jump there. Flip shot are going to be taken out though. A Saya player
Saya buat
does
ngekill
take
guys.
him down.
Eh,
Coming through it.
Timingnya
Carpe
itu kan timingnya jelek banget mereka
on
cok.
the pick.
Kayak lagi
Push
kena timing
forward
terus
there.
guys.
Off trying to lead the charge.
Iya,
Ellie
memang
Moore, the great
panas.
fadeaway
Aduh.
shot there on a Saya player. Gets himself a third, and Rossi now needs to back out. Sees a tiny little corner that he can tuck into. Get back into the site quickly, but
saving nggak sih?
the time ticking as low as it is. Have to kill both of them here.
Tebak skor gak sih dia?
Down. Himself in. Going for it,
kena ya?
but yeah, Ellie
Kena ya?
Moore eventually
Anjir.
will be able to get the wallbang headshot.
Iya.
Oh, naik
Fourth
soalnya naik
in the
gitu ya.
round, and RRQ. The timeout, it does work a treat for them. Still losing out on multiple members, but
Oh, dukung T1 bang, kenapa sih guys? Nggak boleh dukung T1 guys.
I like the decision to
Iya sih,
go
Agay.
in
Harus
from
RRQ
mount
terus,
into
RRQ
C. It
terus.
was a
Saya buat,
way
saya
they
buat,
were
saya
able
buat,
to
saya
get a
buat.
pretty nice setup, and
Itu dia ler.
see the side now from the side of Elmi, as you mentioned, he really did a great job of holding down the site from outside from the mount. And even with Saya player, and I think Carpe trying to get out there and clean that out, was not able to do so.
Spot bagus planting.
against
Oh,
Elmi
baru
Moore.
tahu gue.
And no surprise, I think they're just gonna send it once again into this area of the map.
the Prowler to check. Flip shatter now in a
Duh, C-nya kosong bro, di retake nih kayaknya.
And it just has to hold his ground as the Prowlers continue to check, and Sai finds one. Izu is
Mantap
meantime
banget dapat dua,
pushing
bro.
out alongside
Dia tahu
X-Ray.
C-nya kosong langsung masuk.
Picks off Xfero. Three
Jadi
players
push
now.
Semua jauh.
Flank semua anjir ini.
They will be able to get themselves onto
Ah,
the
nggak dapat
side.
ultinya, nice banget.
Nightfall off the rip before the planters even come in.
Oh,
They
udah
spot
planting lagi.
absolutely nothing, so they can take some forward
Nah,
space.
pasti
Aduh,
mereka
konten nggak boleh.
Waterfall
Kenapa
across
sih lu
to
pada?
this C-Link.
Riwah.
Can they deal with this massive approach that's getting ready to come through from Mount? Boombot cleared.
Kawan.
No audio here for Elmi Moore.
Duh, lama banget retake-nya bro.
Rossi in the meantime. Potential
Takut guys, mereka.
strike as he's creeping his way forward. Right now, back turn. Elmi Moore.
Gua kira bakal di absen.
Now showstopper from
Absen situ
Jemkin
dulu.
to try to further slow things up.
2 lawan 2, 2 lawan 2.
Aduh.
Blow up there, but now Rossi
Aduh.
can't quite get it done with the Odin. Takes them low, but RRQ,
Lama
they
retake-nya
managed
sih.
to hold on.
You know,
Ragu ya?
3v5, they get on the site, they get onto the C site, and I think RRQ have identified a weakness in T1's defense.
Kenapa
And
nih?
T1 essentially trying to get aggressive from the defensive side outside of B and A, and that's working in terms of getting
Itu
the
tadi.
kills. But in terms of, you know, solidifying the round wins, not so much.
Aduh, 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 aduh.
And now they're really feeling themselves in a very close round that they did just win there. So
Aduh, bener,
RRQ, I like that they're finding
Oh, udah
answers
tau
here.
tuh Koko tuh.
Still a bit behind the 8 ball in terms of, you know, the scoreline and on this map. And now T1
Oh,
going to look to aggress themselves out onto Mount. He's going to start off with the one.
Aduh, mati
Saya
Dapat dua nggak
pick up
apa-apa,
another
2-1 bro.
elsewhere.
Kedua.
But that is going to look pretty good for the
Tapi
side of
Spirit nggak
T1.
punya
They
senjata
still
ya.
do have Carpe here on the site.
Agak ya, ketawa nggak sih ketawa
Yeah, now
itu karena mati
reinforced.
berapa
Baca
kali
sih,
waktu
kecil mulu, bro.
jambu.
Waterfall,
Kata gue sih tiap.
3v4.
Bisa sih jambu.
Timing bro.
They're about sending
Aduh,
the hawk.
timingnya jelek banget.
Quite a bit of damage down to
Yeah,
5.
yeah,
Gonna be
yeah,
caught
yeah,
with
yeah.
util in hand. Elmi Moore able to come away with a
Yeah.
second elimination, but Sion player finds flips. That's now the spike down, the Viper out of the equation. Elmi Moore a bit stranded here. Sends the Prowler, manages to cut across, but Pain Shell's into bend. Gonna force it back out into the open.
Aduh, saya dikit lagi saya.
He brings us back into a 2v2, now a 2v1. Estrella finds Rossi. Low HP, as it's just a one tap necessary. More back around the
Tembak kok, nice kok.
Holds his ground. and he is able to find the limbs and the defuse.
Wow. Xgrid just barely able to hold on to that round for T1. I thought RRQ had that one in the bag, but the clutch comes forward from Xgrid to pick up 2.
Mulai,
As you see, initially this fight outside of Mound, pretty good. Honestly, 4T1 side also got that pick, but Elmimore is really just on a tear right now. But Xgrid's handling of this situation also fantastic. To take down the 2 of them in the 1v2.
Let's go guys.
Either just
kok nice bang, gue dukung T1 kenapa emang nggak boleh bro?
Very solid clutch, but I think maybe a little bit too much energy there, a little bit too antsy from the side of
Tahu anjir, viewersnya harus dukung RRQ semua.
Okay, I probably forced him back with that Nightbot.
RRQ udah menang 2 kali guys, santai guys.
Xgrid, he knows how low that player is. He just sees Jim bouncing in.
Katanya santai bos, Eskuret nih bos, operator master.
Pretty decent career as a rabbit hunter.
Yeah. I love this setup there. Xgrid just making this map his right now. Saya, the jump, unfortunate for him, but he's got a lot of setup with his teammates right behind him. Izu gonna take down 2.
Nggak dapat info ini. Kalau di-push mati nih Izu nih. Tuh jangan nge-push sih, kata dulu sih.
On the move, he's gonna go down.
Timingnya jelek si
Elmimore there, hand off the mouse, just not quite prepared. As Flips just seeing if he can get any kind of damage.
Aduh, kok miss.
Managed to find one.
Nah, buta dia. Krocok nggak sih bro? Krocok nggak sih bro?
Getting caught by his teammates. Paranoia isn't able to swing. He does end up getting taken down, so 3 members lost, but T1 get themselves up to 6 on this defender's half so far.
Gue dukung kan kokonya 4 second guys. Gue dukung Susanto ini guys, Blood ya guys.
Apa ribut, kalian tuh ribut terus tau gak?
Ribut sih ada loh, diributin. Dari zaman Paperrex lawan RRQ juga gue diomelin mulu tuh kok Paperrex anjing, dibilang nggak nasionalis.
Much improved today as far as the Omen performances are concerned. Sometimes it's been a little bit wishy-washy, and that is not a good feeling if you're an RRQ fan.
Indopride katanya.
Second timeout now called here in this first
half.
Kevin
ya? Kevin orang mana?
Knowing that on this attack, they have to get themselves up to 6.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, the rounds that RRQ were winning, it's pretty close. I mean, T1 did kind of let them in a C, and they were looking for retakes, and RRQ was winning those rounds.
Kamu pas Fong Susanto bang ya? Yoi.
2 members left up.
Malu tahu ditonton sama orang.
They strung 2 in a row together.
RRQ juga udah menang 2 kali guys. Aman, RRQ udah dapat spot bro minimal.
From the defensive side, and they're just not really allowing any time for RRQ to breathe. So.
Ya guys, ada mengalihkan topik guys, serang lagi guys.
Gue pengen tahu aja, gue gak pernah live jam segini kok. Gak pernah itu gue live jam segini. Cil ngomong ribut terus udah kayak Mas Dan. Ya nulur sih pasti guys.
I mean, he could try for a TP play. They have a pit if they can get into a decent post-plant situation.
Masih gawe.
But showstopper to try to flush him out.
Bagus, 4 second apa koko bang? Tetap 4 second sih guys ya. Ya tetap 4 second sebenarnya, tapi ya beda role soalnya guys.
Karena dia nggak main ya, Korea kan dukung kokonya.
Iya dong, dia nggak main.
Kenapa sih kalian?
I think you can be a little bit more reactionary with
your juga. Dapat ini yuk, 84 yuk. C-nya mulu coy, dia hit coy. C-nya nggak pernah dilepas. C-nya mulu padahal udah tahu loh. Harusnya C-nya di rush nggak sih? A-nya berdua aja. C2, A2. Iya, udah C mulu nih. Udah berapa round C?
Saya mau ngapain saya?
Nice banget. Dapat 2 tuh harusnya. Aduh, kok rata sih?
Itu bisa kayak
wah, jelas bro. Dikejar bro. Bawa OP soalnya.
He wants to intercept. He wants to be able to take this weapon out of his hands because this AWP has been causing them issues.
Nah, mati nih sama sebelah kiri. Lihat ya.
At the moment, even the Prowler to help distract. Elmimore just trying to jump around, and there it is. From the left side will take him down. So RRQ, they get the timeout. They get a nearly flawless round and a fantastic entry on the C. They got a string more than just the one together though, as we'll take a look.
C lagi lah, C-nya berhasil mulu Del. Dilepas mulu cuma 1 tuh. Harus ini sih harus call sih si IGL ini. Si Karpe harus call sih ke C. C-nya di ini ditahan 2 kan. Tapi ini bisa ke A sih. Mereka tahu A-nya nggak di-push sekarang.
Still
A-nya
in a
digas.
recoverable position. You can see the buy right now for T1. Very weak. Execute, of course, full headhunter bullet, so can deal a significant amount of damage. There's a double stack on mound.
Prestasi RRQ apa aja bang? Ini guys, apa juara MPL season berapa tuh? 7 ya?
Saya's gonna continue inching up. Looking to take a little bit more space, and he does have that vandal in
Katanya Mas
hand.
Nigel kok Kevin bang? Oh nice, kalau kok Kevin sih beda kan makanya.
Boy.
Kevin Nigel juga ngeri soalnya.
They're gonna cross over in towards tree
Maka nih.
and wait for this pressure to be coming on in. As the Prowler's also taking out Jemkin. Is he going Ascent?
Oh, rame banget nih.
Prowler not spying much. Vulnerable
Oh, masih
there.
dapat satu.
They are able to take out Jemkin, but
Rossi mati
not
bro.
before Rossi falls.
Gila kok kenceng banget cok.
Arriving
Itu.
at the hit, gonna be in
Wah
fast.
cepet, aduh tinggal diklik tuh
Has
kok.
the lineup, but just doesn't pull the trigger fast enough. Elmi Moore swings in, finds him.
Wah, jauh banget itu. 2.
Now work cut out for them here for Saya and Izu.
Saya buat.
Pun fake abang, kagak fake.
Weapon can be picked up. It's an operator.
It's not looking very likely, but let's see what work they can get done.
Face your fear.
Okay, again, just looking for information there.
Oke, kasih guys, 65.
Paranoia.
Map
set.
attacker guys, map attacker
No way
guys.
to push in off the back of that one. Just attention being pulled over towards the door. Side player gets himself over towards this spike. Creeping forward.
Aduh,
Spot
nice
one.
try.
This is not quite snappy
Nanti.
enough. Estrella takes him down. Paranoia sent.
Saving OP buat
Get on
Koko.
the door. Estrella potentially going to fall here as
Nice.
also looking good. Izu can just pass this over to Execute
Duitnya
now.
kaya RRQ nih.
But RRQ
Oh dapat
getting
7 ya,
within touching
7
distance.
75 yo, bisa yo.
Again, a pretty clean one.
Udah nyala.
Just a couple of picks over towards the site when they do go through these doors into tree. Elmi Moore, very nice shot down onto Execute. Otherwise, you know, we could have seen him maybe link a couple more kills and have Execute be the hero of that round, but that was not the case. They get on in, they use the Viper's
Ascent
pit.
manusia setengah chamber bang.
So
Dia
what
kalau
else
di
available here
kompetitif
besides
chambernya malah jarang
this
guys.
round of the half?
CC mereka kecil nih.
And
Ya enggak ada.
Udah
That's
masih
good for
nahan,
RRQ,
masih
you know,
santai
they
tuh.
use a bunch,
Dia cari info dulu
but
Del.
they're getting value, they're trying to tie
Dia
things
tahu
up
nih.
for this half.
Oh cari di ulti guys,
On the
aman.
sea.
Kok ngulti gitu gimana ngepicknya jing?
Looking like he wants to try to push out of this. Does so, tries to go for the
Anjir
flick
hampir
shot.
mati si Koko.
A little bit of damage. Doesn't put any out in return.
Ini mah Rossi mati nih.
Backing away, suspecting that RRQ
Angle-angle
is
gampang
likely
di
not,
spam
try
itu.
to play into this pit, but seems like that might not be the case. Especially now that Jemkin has a showstopper available. Question is, can they get a read on where Rossi would be positioned if they actually decide to try to push into this? Saya.
Nice kok. Bukan Koko ya, saya player ya. 2 OP jing.
Oh, he's just in the corner. They don't know.
I mean, he's not in it right now. Tucks back inside. Through the poison.
Aduh, Rossi timingnya jelek banget dah kau.
Showstopper does get burnt, but kill is found. Pit now
Oh,
dropped.
bagus gitu, enggak gini C-nya masuk lagi kan nih. Retake lagi bro. 4 lagi bro. Susah ini 2 OP lagi mereka.
That Nightfall will catch on the 2. Players disconnected back over towards Mount, however, not going to get caught as he starts working his way forward. Elmi Moore, decayed
Ngeri
low.
banget. Gua kelas gini pusing banget gila.
On these prowlers, the push out, headshot found. Carpe going to be taken down. Execute dead as well. Now it's all on Izu and Saya player who still has an op in
Sama sih
hand.
Del.
Saya now gone. Izu in the 1v2, the defuse
Masih
coming
mati,
through.
masih
They're in a very disconnected
Masih mati.
position, but there you go. The final
kenapa
headshot
nih?
will ring true.
Ayo saya
As
bang.
Sabar Del, map attacker
All
Del.
the way up to 6 and 6.
Ganti map baru
3
nih.
rounds in a
Susah
row.
defense-nya
That
emang
last
susah
one
defense-nya.
looking pretty clean
Gampang
as
di
well. They go
rotate.
through the Viper's pit and
Panik gua.
Rossi just not quite able to
Sia,
hold on to
boy.
that area of the map. They thought, okay, surely they're not going to push on in through here, but RRQ bravely get the job done. And they get that spike down on C, and there wasn't much hope for the set at T1 on the
Lemon nih
retake.
bos.
Thank you Tumbal Project,
So
welcome.
now it's pretty much anybody's map at this point in time. With this one all tied up.
Ayo jangan lemas,
But,
jangan lemas.
Well, I think
still
that-
going to be a bit curious to see how insane this T1 attacker side is going to look.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. This map has been very attacker-sided favored, but in the past it was defenders for Pacific. We'll see if that rears its head here.
T1 apaan, nggak ada
T1
lemon
are gonna be able
terus.
to get back to the driver's seat from the attack like they
Ih,
did
DC rame.
there on Ascent.
Does feel
Ada
like
2 orang lagi
somebody's
tapi diam.
taken out their sails in the last 3 rounds, though.
Yang mana ya, pada situ
RRQ,
baru
especially guys like
bangun.
Elmi Moore,
Wih, siapa nih?
Siapa nih?
just showing up in a big
Kira
way.
apa gila barusan.
That is a League of Legends caster. Does the LCK. So shout out to him. He's like, oh, Valorant's really fun.
Oke, jadi guys ya gue kasih tahu ya guys ya. Di tiap grup itu asalkan menang 2 kali, slot di grupnya nggak akan dikasih ke grup lain nggak. Jadi minimal makanya minimal menang 2 kali dulu. RRQ udah menang 2 kali guys, ini udah aman. Slotnya 3 slot itu nggak akan diambil. Kalau slot grup sebelah tuh yang Genji, T1, GE, Zeta, DFM tuh. Belum yang menang 2 kali belum ada, baru Genji doang.
Tiba-tiba 6 sama aja.
Map attacker Bu, tenang Bu, aman nih.
But for a lawcaster to get there, that's a stretch.
I used to be a lawcaster, so it is possible. Jemkin though going to be taking a shot.
Aduh, habis pelurunya anjing udah.
Down to 45, but still cannot be found. A side player trying to push the pace. Is going to be paranoid.
Nice banget saya player dapat begitu loh.
He got a stray up. Pain shells now to cut off Link. Swing onto the corner, but Jemkin with the ghost will be able to strike him down, but it's a good amount of damage across on all members of RRQ.
Betul. Kodru, welcome Kodru.
Just kind of running through the smoke, and yeah, he got the jump on the wall, but everybody else was behind him, and now Jemkin a bit low on health, and they're gonna get Rossi. Thinking about it, yeah, Rossi on the backside of that one.
3 lawan 2 bro, duanya low bro, klik kanan dikit mati wes. Nah, udah aman.
Bang Aco mana Bang Aco?
Pistol.
You actually would have been able to see X-Grid up on top, because they missed each other. That means that he's going to be able to get the jump here. Spots them both. Can he transfer this? Goes for the one. Oh, tucked into the corner. Can't quite find that second kill. Sees him drop down. Rossi still on the flank. Now getting the read of it, but as he looks away, X-Grid pushes through the wall.
Satu.
It's a matter of timing.
Iya, jamu
The
malah
T1 are able to win out. 3-1 in pistols now as they regain a lead.
Kan katanya 10.
Kata temen gue for second kan RRQ bang, iya bang.
So quickly, I mean Saya is obvious, and also the fact that he was able to get this one through the paranoia, as you mentioned, sees just the tip of the omen, and that is enough. But then just the quick rotation to go from B straight into A, I think caught RRQ off guard, and it was a done deal from there. Nearly a chance.
Sorry.
For Xfero, but.
Gila, Lemimor 2 kali nge-carry bro, anjir. Kalau Mimor nggak nembak sih udah kalah RRQ ini, jauh. Agak carry, full carry bro.
A hell of a lot of space here for RRQ at A, but T1 starting to work their way towards C. Still puts RRQ in a bit of a rough position. Rossi going to try to hold the line here. Goes to the hand, sends out the snake bite. They are able to get slightly around this, but still a decent amount of damage being taken.
Aduh, Rossi!
Still able to find one, but now the swing out from Izu. Does get the punish.
Si bro, ini plannya kenapa dimajuin semua anjing? Kayaknya udah kosong padahal, masih digas dulu tuh di T1, dilawan bro. Dilawan anjing.
But I think they want to send a message as Estrella does pick up another here on the Saya. But of course on the Eco RRQ still able to get a couple of kills.
Ya di plan ya.
It's kind of interesting though, the biggest thing for me is that T1 they're like, let's just run at them. They could have just ran to see.
Mimor doang yang nembak itu 20-10. Yang lainnya 10.
Yeah, that ain't again. Don't hesitate. Izu certainly did not. Nicely done by him as he was able to collect the 4K here on the back end. Not necessarily, I should say, the most meaningful on. Obviously, can do plenty of cheeky plays, but a lot of times we have been seeing those get red once the moment's trying to go.
Ilham udah rugi 10.000. Bang Rio kok T1 nggak ada fase.
They went over to the attacker side.
Ya ampun.
Trying to hold it, not able to. Rossi able to trade it back, but some damage done to him.
Aduh, kayaknya sendirian doang, cok kagak ada util. Aduh. Ambil OP sih saving bro. Oh, Rossi udah ambil OP.
Overall, so far it's looking clean here for RRQ. Just Elmimore as a casualty thus far. If they can close out the round from here, they'll be feeling pretty good about it. And I think ultimately T1, I mean, given that there's the op in play, might just have to call to save the weapons that they have. They'd wish that one of them wasn't a bulldog, but ultimately they don't have too much of a choice.
Yeah. Just wait it out. RRQ gonna do the same.
Saving, pasti saving.
But I think this is a big round win for RRQ. Obviously, they stopped the bonus. It's kind of expected, but we expected it on Ascent, and it didn't happen. They got actually rolled on the 9th round win for T1, and then it was a 10th, and then the 11th, and the rest was kind of, as you guys remember in round 1, kind of just a full-on sweep. But this time, RRQ put up a good stance, and they don't just get rolled over here in the anti-bonus as Izu is coming on in.
Aduh, Izu!
And, you know, I hope I
TP
didn't
nggak sih ke kiri?
Cost
masih
them,
digas
I
bro,
mean,
masih
you
Izu
can
bro.
at least try to grab the weapon or get the plant down for some extra money, but eventually will
like,
fall.
what is
So
it?
Frosty, his mission is just to protect that operator. I mean, now that X gets the IGL,
Gila.
it's like, oh, you have
Demi Koko guys, diambil pokoknya guys, disimpan guys.
Igela siapa nih?
Igela katanya si Koko. Awas! Aduh!
But they cannot.
able to.
Ya.
Mati lagi Del, anjir OP jatuh.
Behind the rubble, but
Oke.
OP katanya di match ini yang nge-GL si Koko, biasa kan si Karpe kan.
losing it.
Makanya mainnya lebih rapi kayaknya.
But yeah, I mean, X
He gets
was
hilang.
he was playing greedily. He was trying to say, okay, I know someone's gonna push off the back of this Prowler, but they timed it so perfectly well. Wait until the very last moment, right as that fight's about to come through. More swing in the corner. Gets that kill, so a bit of egg on the face of X
Cara info
there.
dulu bro, cara info yang kosong mana gas? Kayak tadi kayak si RRQ mainnya gitu.
Well,
now no weapon for him aside from the headhunter.
Yeah. 5 bullets and just a bit of poking out of bounds for T1. Looks like they do want to fight this. Bit of a spread at the moment. 2-1-2.
Serem guys, ya guys.
See if they do look to go elsewhere as the rotation is coming back towards A.
Tapi kalau dia rotate, dia udah pada rotate juga nih RRQ-nya Del. Harusnya dia fake rotate, balik lagi tuh ke C. Kayak cuma satu kan.
Defense for now.
Lagi rame
Starting to get a
aneh
good
tuh.
idea of this though.
Haven't seen
anything at C. Warning ping down in front of B main just in case there's going to be a deep flank coming through, which Izu is in position for that potentially.
Awas.
Dia main slow berarti.
4 players in position.
Nice! Saya player timingnya bagus.
First and foremost.
Ini banyak util bro. Aduh, kena timing nih.
Sitting here, stay tucked, stay quiet. As Hong gets a reveal, and Elmore is going to be taken down. They're now striking, comes up with 1.
Nice.
Site occupied here by T1. Izu now starting to work his way forward on this lurk. Jemkin, I think he's noting this, but now backs away.
4 lawan 3 bro.
Oh, the timing for Izu could not be any better.
Ngumpet.
Yeah.
Aman sih ini harusnya nggak bisa sih mereka. Retake susah.
Straight up, about to get caught potentially.
Aduh!
He's not ready for it. This now leaves Xfero.
Dapat info mereka tapi si Vero tahu di mana dulu.
On Carpe as he moves up, tries the challenge, gets him through the corner, and they know that Izu was behind. Pulls at the half, doesn't hear the drop. Does he pull off of this one? He's gonna try to stick it.
Nice, Izu!
And Izu finds his timing perfectly. Just a moment away. Xfero saying, I think I'm gonna get away with this. And that's when he swings the corner.
Ya guys, beda 2 poin guys.
From the side of Izu, just across the entire
RRQ masih bisa beli dia.
Played out after the plant, but started off Saya play with a couple of big picks here. A couple of headshots, they get onto the site. Izu this timing was the beginning of it, and then right at the end. I feel like there was like a bit of time where he could have came off and fake seen it, but he wanted to be the pro that did not fake and
udah nge-kill bro.
not work out for him. So T1 to get back on the board, 9-7. Still a close one, but still
dia 2 saving ya anjir.
it's very threatening from the side of T1's attack, as we have seen so far.
C-nya 2 sentinel tuh.
Well, looks like, yeah, pick up on the orb. That's going to be the Nightfall available for Carpe. Door tap, Saya will play
B-nya kosong sih, B-nya kosong sih.
Backs away. Carpe trading positions.
Kecil sih kayak ini Del, aduh.
Just have to keep that door revolving.
Kasih enggak pinter-pinter.
Cover going out. So it looks like they are going to make the call to start pivoting into B. Prowler to check. Nothing noted. Jemkin nearby. Clear out on the turret. Add to the ambiguity here.
Oh, mereka A ya?
Door tapped again. They might just end up shifting this all the way over to A.
Yeah, still a decent amount of time. They have their own talk screen over at A. And it looks like,
kalau ke A,
well, that's where the spike is going, but we do have still Silent player looking over at
30
Mount.
detik bro, kalau mati sama Jemkin, spike-nya kelar sini.
RRQ is positioned though, 4 people on C.
Is this just going to be an info bait? They send out the Prowler, and look at the rotations beginning here for RRQ.
Bingung
Oh, the
masih.
shift
Oh,
back
nice banget ini.
over. Showstopper out from Saya.
Enggak deh, balik pada
Will try to
balik
play
Saya nggak dicek,
quietly,
nggak dicek.
not revealing his
Nice,
position,
nice.
but it doesn't matter. Isu just moves up through the smoke.
Aduh.
Finds the kill, but Showstopper going to be
Gol
short.
dia.
Sideway unable to find that elimination. Now has to back away. Nightball coming through. Carpe shoves them back, buys some space. The plant comes in for T1.
Tuh plannya apa nggak plannya RRQ ya? Di
Pretty
situ tuh
nice
bagus plan.
entry with Flipschneider down, and now a good setup, but Execute is going to fall down right as
susah
they
itu
are
pikir di situ.
potentially going to come in through the smoke. Waterfall being spotted here
Aduh!
by Execute, but not able to hit it, and Jemkin gets value with his showstopper, but they don't
Nice!
check the corner.
Nice,
As
nice,
Izu
nice.
going to be able to pick up one, and
4 lawan
Carpe
1
gets
kalah
two.
kayak masa sih.
Now it is all just Xfero.
Kalah botak gua, anjing.
For the drop down, gets the shot on to Izu, but just too many targets. Takes Carpe to 3. Just cannot confirm that kill. T1 now
Evos
move
emang
up
ada roster
to
Paulo
double
ya, main
digits.
apa bahas terus tuh Evos.
Yeah, that's got to feel good. I mean, this
Capek banget gua.
entire input play was fantastic. Izu also
10-7
just creeping
guys.
through the
3
smoke.
poin lagi
Able
yuk.
to get that one, and Carpe so crisp. Gets the waterfall, looks back, feels
Mas
the pressure,
Carpe,
gets another
Mas
headshot.
Carpe.
They don't check the corner either, and that sets up a nice crossfire.
Rossi
as,
tadi menyala, sekarang jadi
RRQ
turun
were
Rossi.
trying to engage on that side.
Mereka tuh ganti-gantian gitu kok.
And at this point, I mean, 3
Iya, makanya
rounds
aneh banget ya.
stretch, half
Iya
armor
kayak
across
bisa
the board to Guardian.
gendong nih satu
In
round
the hands
gitu
of Elvin
kan.
more.
Kita kalau main Valorant udah cuput-cuput terus sih kita ya. Kenapa gitu ya?
Burned in that first half.
Ya tapi lucu sih jadi
T1 bought him. He's not gonna call
Kita
one.
beda guys, kita
Unless
main
this
Valorant nih map
gets,
1 jauh black, map 2 jauh black. Udah
around the
terus-terusan tuh sampai map 4 tuh jauh black terus kita kalau main.
Yeah. At this point,
Kena
I think
mental
he's
aja
probably
udah.
said enough times.
Tuh, mereka bisa gitu,
just
Cok.
don't think. Send it. You guys are playing really well. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Dapat
You know,
dong
it's
T1
the
bang,
easiest
karena ada Koko
position, I
Execute
guess, as a
bro.
coach.
Terus juga Execute, T1 belum
As your
menang,
players are playing
menang.
really well.
Yeah,
Ada
just get
iklan
into
ya?
that flow state where everything just feels natural.
Oh di tap mereka balik.
Well, they're going to play with this door again. Certainly worked out in the last round. Just to get RRQ in kind of a confused position, but RRQ we're also trying to stack
Pinter
the
deh,
C site
ngancurin
and maybe try to
ini, ntar dulu.
catch T1 off guard.
Iklan
So
mulu.
he's gonna stay on a bit of a solo lurk. By the
Did this
look of
last
it
time.
here. Yeah.
Mati gak saya? Mati dong saya.
Let's see what he can
Dia nggak
find.
akan mau maju sih, kalau dia maju dia
Maju
bodoh
sih
sih.
saya.
Pushes
Saya.
up. He sees enough of a stray to be able to take him down.
What?
Rotations now starting as they move away from the A site, which is where the spike is getting ready to move up
Ini
to.
flip jitter nggak boleh dapat banyak sih. Dapat 1 aja maksimal.
Suspicious. Sees a gun barrel, finds it, sees the spike. Now rotations can come back.
Cok, majuin cok.
Up on the wall.
Aduh, si
to get
Koko
bailed
jelek
out.
banget majunya.
Stands his ground to
Nice,
find
nice,
one.
Rossi.
Rossi will be able to finish him off there.
Waktunya.
They now go to a 3v3.
Nice,
but
saya
as
player.
Zoe comes
Kenceng
in,
banget.
Jemkin
Kebek.
taken down again. Attention a bit split.
Kebek.
Izu going to be noted here on B as the spike works its way through.
Ini kalau yang planternya mati kelar sini.
Easy rotation here, and they've got it all clogged up. Every
aman, nice.
entry into this one. The poison orb. Smoke in their faces. Rossi also
Nah, ada Rossi tunggu
hugging
sini.
this angle very
Tunggu
close
sini.
to where they're coming from.
Kill for either would give them the ult. There's the C's as Rossi going to be locked into position for the moment, but
Nice
there's
buat
just
Rossi,
nothing
timingnya
else
Rossi sumpah.
on the back end.
Nggak bisa lu masuk lu anjir.
Big fight now thrown down. Xfero pushes up.
Nice!
Eventually,
2-0 ngasih dia dibilang Del, percaya lu Del.
11 to 7. T1.
Let's
Two
go.
Oke,
rounds away from
final sih bang
closing
kalau
out
dibanding
this
T1
series.
bang.
2-0
Nggak juga sih guys,
back.
sama-sama
Find
kuat
themselves
guys.
the
Cuman
first
ini
victory.
T1 lagi lebih menyala aja.
Yeah, at
Lebih
this point,
menyala,
I mean,
Bang.
RRQ, they got the
Tion harus ngejar menang guys.
anti-bonus, I guess, right? That one round, and that was it. Like,
Ini
this
gila tadi.
is, again, another alert
T1
from
kalau
Zion
udah
player.
menang
It was
ini,
pretty
berarti
nice
tinggal
from
lawan siapa sih?
Flipschneider
T1
to
kan
try to
menang
give them a
match ya.
chance, but at the end of the day, it was just clean up here for the side of T1. Right from the get-go, they were in total control of this round, so
Rame kalah semua.
unfortunate for RRQ. We're not really seeing the same level from their defensive side.
Talon sama Zeta, bisa lah,
Here
bisa
comes
Talon
Side
sama
player
Zeta mah
once
bisa bro.
Getting in
Gila,
there pretty
ini
quickly,
ribet.
and it's going to be Izu actually to
Let's
take
go.
them down.
Aman kan Del, tenang Del, aman
Dead.
Del.
Dead. Hit now, invested. Nightfall is available. Saya tucking back around the corner. Doesn't keep himself
Jago,
safe
cuma
for the
kemarin lagi
moment.
bau aja
Answering
lagi
spray
sial.
damage
Sial
comes
itu.
through.
Nggak ada ini di way
Saya picked off. Elmore able to find one prowler, confirming that there's somebody up close. And for now, the spike will
Ini
not
kalau
be
di kalah
planted.
sial sih.
Lockdown also available here from Xfero. Should they be able to get into a winnable
Dapat dua lagi dia.
position? And
Dia udah
pick on
masuk
the
semua
Izu.
nih.
It's looking a little bit better for them, but Carpe
banget.
looks around the back of sight, finds the catch,
Ini
takes
real
down
nice ya,
one,
good.
manages to avoid that bulldog spray. Is
Nice,
more work to finish off. Lockdown now going to be committed. A 1v3 here from Xfero for all the
Tuh,
marbles.
itu dia.
Turret cleared out, swings, finds two, but he's
Nice
down
banget,
for
gila timingnya si Koko.
Oh
Just runs him down,
Welcome to
and
Bocil.
T1 now get themselves up to match point, 12 to 7.
Kenapa?
Yeah.
Kenapa ngomong?
I mean, this is That was pretty devastating, right? It was like
Pokoknya
last chance for him. He's
soalnya
going
ini guys, ada Koko
1v3.
XQ
He
juga.
puts down the lockdown. He's sending it
No
in
pride
the
guys,
1v3.
Koko XQ rate.
But it just was barely not enough. Izu really clean and oh man,
guys, kita batal
not
lihat
able
kah?
to feel the pressure from the third guy from the same angle. Maybe not expecting that.
Pegangannya di mana Ci? Di channel kosong, tunggu
Very
dulu.
unfortunate for Xfera, I thought.
Pasti abis ini lo mau recall ya anjir, gue tau banget lo.
It was not the case. And now it's 12-7. T1 just nearly unbeatable on these attacker sides.
Guys, pasti abis ini Adel mau mampir ke channel sebelah guys, bilang hai gitu ya.
Tadi gue mampir ke sebelah ya disuruh ini pegangan 2 tangan, katanya lawannya RRQ gitu. Serem banget, kalau gue gak bisa ngomong apa-apa kan, so RRQ nih kuat. Mending chatnya ribut RRQ daripada chatnya kayak jambu main Hogwarts.
RRQ. Trusting that that pit is going to dissuade. As it's going to be a very early preventative Nightfall sent in here.
Ini susah sih ya guys, nggak mungkin comeback guys, 5 poin jauh.
Apa?
Kita juga miskin.
Kan lo kan T1.
And eventually that just goes down, and now Estrella is right there.
Only more picked off. X trying to find that kill. Solid start, but Rossi will get traded out.
Enggak sih.
Turret cleared, Xfera.
Belum.
Masih
satu. Belum guys, belum.
Sabar ya. Kasih satu bro.
Over the ready, spots one for a moment, lines up the shot.
Dapat satu.
Can't draw down Xfera fast enough.
Sabar.
Hold on by a thread, but they needed 4 more rounds consecutively. Forces into overtime.
Yeah, I mean, well, you gotta get started with one, and maybe you get enough momentum to
mungkin deh,
make this a bit interesting. You see that T1 not necessarily gonna full buy on this next one. Losing a lot of money in the round previously, and then of course losing this one. So it's really nice hold here, especially from Xfera. Feels like he's feeling himself towards the end.
Mereka semangat banget sih.
Kalau
keren banget ya.
Map.
Saya bot.
Better late than never.
Ultinya 4 Del.
Show up in a big way.
Tapi miskin sih Del. Bentar.
Belum.
Mereka miskin Del soalnya Del. Tapi udah ulti 4 sih. Mendingan tunggu buy terus ulti 4. Saya langsung ulti sekarang anjing.
Got that showstopper. Looks like widely RRQ aware of this.
Aku pinter
Can they avoid it?
Ya ngapain anjing?
Corner check as he rushes up the top, Stinger in hand. There's a jump out, Saya.
Kan.
Able to find Carbank, quick hops back up over the top. X will be able to find one with that Tour de Force. Rossi finds the second kill here for the squad.
Timing banget.
Jimkin.
Itu kirinya.
Nice. Elimination, but Izu now lurking. Takes out
nice.
Satu
lawan 2. Wante masih hidup.
GG
ngasih bro.
The last one alive. Last man standing. Drops down off
Tapi
the
satu low
rope.
sih, dia juga low juga sih.
Sampai Jimkin mati, gue gak akan ngomong apa-apa.
Koko OP lagi, aman sih Koko OP nih.
Pushing forward, not pulling back.
Izunya lewat menang nih. Izunya lewat menang.
Dua. Swing onto the corner. He is struck down.
Let's go, Thrifty bro.
The new IGL will be the finisher. A 3K is
Akhirnya guys, satu win guys.
I mean, what can you say? Make some changes. Things aren't
guys.
for 3 maps, and then all of a sudden.
Let's go teman-teman. Thank you nonton guys ya. Gue pindahkan dulu guys.
And they just look like a totally new team.
Pindah ke siapa ya?
RRQ definitely not showing their
best. Lagi kurang menyala guys.
But still. All credit to T1 on a big victory here, 2-0 in this match against RRQ against.
Nah, recall ke Frudy guys. Recall ke Frudy guys. Thank you nonton guys. Sampai jumpa ya. Thank you guys. Sampai jumpa di next live streaming. Gue pamit dulu guys ya. See you on next live streaming. Makasih ada semua. Makasih yang udah join member ya guys ya. Recall guys. Recall di Frudy guys langsung.